great though? Is that really? You know what I mean?
We're pretty good.
Canada's all right.
Oh man, you're joking. We all love you guys. You're coming
We
up
had a
to
fighting
World War
chance.
I and II. You know what I mean? Well, don't forget.
You know, we should. You know who should get in here? We should get Movie Bob.
Oh God, no.
No, because Margaret will be distracted by his hot looks.
Yeah, it'll be just too much for me. I can't handle that.
At that point,
we're live
Margaret.
right now.
At that point, Margaret will only have the second biggest boobs in the chat. Movie Bob
I
came
can
on.
handle that. Except mine work well.
She's
I just want to
she's
show
jealous.
this for everybody. So right now what we're doing is just a shitposting chat while I slowly try to put cables and everything into here and have people yell at me. But yeah, there's other people here to laugh at me and just make conversation, so it's not just me sadly drinking wine doing cable management. But I wanted to show everybody that I have the backplate on and I have the fan on properly.
Yeah.
I did the thing. Took me forever.
My fingers are just too big for that stuff.
I do know somewhat about computers, so I don't know if I'll be able to help, but maybe.
Well, you're here to just basically rag on me for being slow.
What I want you to do
You go
is
home, Will Ross. You go home. You're a gamer girl.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough insulting Margaret going on. You keep asking for.
You gotta take out your colonoscopy bag. You just gotta lightly sprinkle it. You gotta drizzle it over the case.
I could do that. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Sure, okay,
Come on, I'm
we
back
can
in a
mostly
second.
see
I'm
everything
going
that's
to grab
going
another
on
bit.
here. Okay, so it's pretty much just a free-for-all here. I have all kinds. I have the power supply in, I have the fan in, I have the CPU, and thermal paste is on.
What a
And-
graphics card!
You're ambitious.
I'm an idiot. Are we doing the graphics card now, or should I be putting the HDD in?
I don't know.
I use
That-
quarters and flip them.
I don't even think it's really important, like, to put one in
Yeah.
for the other.
Someone's asking. Yes, I'm building a computer because I ran out of space for my massive choking porn collection and hentai. It's really hard to keep both of them, keep track of the two of them. I'm probably just gonna partition my next hard drive.
External
I'll
hard
just
drive.
partition it and just have one side will just be all
You
the
gotta
choking
upgrade,
stuff, and
you
the rest
gotta
will be
upgrade your
hentai.
Google Drive. You gotta get your Dropbox size up.
Yeah. I need more cloud services from Amazon.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say you once deleted Win32 because the internet told you to?
Of course I did. What do you think?
I fucking swear you said you did. And I was like, come
Well, that's an old meme. I had a wonderful older brother that used to basically lock me into the computer and either charge me like 25 cents for him to fix it, or I could figure it out myself. So I'm used to trying. Yeah, it was having a slight bully for an older brother was a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It is, and they want to eliminate bullies right now. How sad.
Shit.
Bullying works.
Hey,
It
makes people
definitely
do their
does.
hair. It's just a level you go to.
having an older brother's great, especially when you're a bloke. You know what I mean? You learn to get beaten up. And then
Well, you learn that you're not made of glass, and that
Yeah.
just because someone
And
calls
then
you
when the
names,
kids,
you're not going to.
when the kids who were smaller in your year try and fight you, it's just like, yeah, I don't think so, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then everyone I know who's got an older brother, like, it's much harder than anyone else. You know what I mean? It's like,
Exactly. You were the practice dummy.
exactly. I know I had a little brother, so I didn't get to hit him. You know what I mean? I got best of both worlds.
So just taking a look, I have, 3 terabytes Barracuda compute.
It's pretty good.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If you're filling up more than
That's
3
a lot
terabytes
of
with
porn.
your, yeah, that's a lot of porn. You should try streaming.
Well, you got to
I
get it
really
up. To,
should.
it's
It
four,
just
it's all,
isn't-
it's 4K, so
That's true.
one of the best.
Like, especially if I want to invest in, 3 monitors, get like the 220.
That's one thing that should never be
side,
watched in 4K
27
is
inch in the
porn.
middle.
4K, 120 frames per second.
Should never be
Like
in
you're
porn,
there.
ever. All you're going to see is pimples and things you don't want to see.
It's one of those 360.
Whoa, wait,
videos.
you don't want to see it. Some of us like some reality.
Oh, I like reality.
I wonder if I could.
Just
like,
not whiteheads.
I kind of want to start a business. 360, 1080 or 4K video, 120 frame per second porno. So it's like captured with one of those like ball 360 cameras. So it's like you're really in the room,
They do that. There's a reality porn where you can just sit there and look around while you're doing it.
like the VR,
Yeah,
Oculus.
it's crazy.
where it's like it's a 3D anime girl, and you get to look up her skirt. It's really
No, you're
awkward.
actually this VR. You're actually looking when you look ahead of you. There's a girl blowing you. You look to the side of you. There's girls fucking over there. You look to the side
You
of you.
guys
There's
were playing
people over
different
there.
VR games than I was. I was playing ones where you like blow things up, like.
Well, you were
Okay.
playing things where you blow things up. We were playing things where we got blowed.
Huh, you're right.
Yeah.
Like that's even better than a joke. That's intense. 4 included drive tray supports. Support both 3.5.
Instructions. We don't need no instructions.
Yeah. Apparently, I can support 3.5 inches and 2.5 inches.
So you like Asians?
But how will I know if it's in yet? Does it make a snap?
That's what the Asians worry about.
Have you ever seen that thing on the internet where they said like white men or like the black men to Asians, where they're like, oh, where's the Asian women at? Do you know what I mean? Oh, you've all got small cocks. Do you know what I mean? So we're literally like black men to Asians. That's what I think of it.
But the worst part is it's not a racist stereotype. I had a little South Korean girl, and she said that Asians are all fucking tiny, and she hates Asian men just for that reason.
That's
Poor
hilarious.
Asian guy.
That's a bit shallow, isn't it?
Comment section is saying 3 terabyte. That's terrible. There's one other person from my province in here, so now I'm slipping back into my native tongue. So you'll start hearing what I actually sound like. I have an accent when I talk to you guys, but
You wait till you have another drink of
3
wine.
terabytes Seagate have super high failure rate. Okay. This guy's fucked up. A few dozen of them. What
You're gonna
case
have
are you
to.
using?
We're gonna have to subtitle this.
Yeah, she's fucked, guys. So, what do we do?
I don't
Just
understand.
package and stick it right in.
The fucking UFC subtitle the English.
Yeah, they do. They're fucking racists.
How do you
Fucking
subtitle the
Americans.
English?
Oh my god, Michael! Like, if you know the UFC, like Michael Bisping winning Trump and Brexit this year. Oh, I've had so much bragging to do. It's been amazing. I've been saying it.
Jesus, Jesus is coming back. If that can happen, I can think Jesus can show up again.
Why?
What would he think though? Fucking bunch
I
of
think
degenerates.
Jesus
That's what he
Christ,
thinks.
Oh,
that's exactly what he'd think. Jesus, what did you do?
He'd shoot himself.
Do you think he would do that? Do you think he would go shotgun and fuck it up?
Oh fuck, no, he'd do it.
Have you ever seen that lad who like fucked up shooting himself with a shotgun and blew his face off and that, and then blamed it on Black Sabbath?
That's happened more than once. Oh, and
Yeah,
Black Sabbath, I
And
didn't
it
know
was
that
also
one.
in that TV show that I
Black
had,
Sabbath lives
Preacher.
matter.
There was also a kid in Preacher, the comic book and TV show like that.
My uncle's brother shot himself in the mouth with the 22.
Ooh.
Was
Did he kill
22?
him?
He really
Yeah.
weren't trying very hard, was he?
He was only a kid. Fuck it. Just chomped down, blew all of his teeth out of him and everything. Didn't mess his face up a bit though. He didn't
I hope
even
his dad slapped him a game of 45.
Nope, and it was 22 rifle. Go think with that.
Fucking hell.
Because handguns aren't really in Canada.
Comment section says, Marge, take the silver bag off and get a big whiff of the Chinese gases. You're not making it sound good. Everyone's getting mad at me because they don't have SSD. I don't really move my case around that much, so
Really.
HDD for now. I might get an SSD and then just like wipe everything and reinstall shit. So
You gotta wipe your shit.
Yeah, my brother has an SSD.
it's very
like-
important. It's a skill.
You only have to
Shit,
have one
wiping
big
your
enough for
SSD.
Windows. Do you know what I mean? And then it'll boot up fast. Windows, not whatever game you want to play, and then put the rest on the other drive.
I don't know. I'll speak to the Council of Ricks about it.
I watched Rick and Morty. I can't remember. It might have been
Great
your
story.
recommendation. I don't know, but it was amazing. I'm gutted now that we've got to wait for the new one.
I know. Fuck. Had to wait for everything.
They weren't lying when they say take a year and a half or so. Fuck.
Fuck, do I get this thing on now? I'm trying to fuck with this for a bit. Try to fit it on the tray. I feel like I'm installing it in the wrong direction. It's hard to tell. I don't have any instructions with this SSD. It just came as is. So let's see what the carbide says. Goes there. Reading the instructions. Like a douche.
Typical women needing instructions to do things. So just trying, just breaking it.
Remember, when they ask for help, we're just supposed to listen and not give solutions.
Yeah, it's true. When women are asking for help, they're not actually asking for help. If you listen closely, we're actually mostly just ever complaining.
You just need to stop doing that, really. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of how we blow off steam.
Ring women and then talk to them about that. That just confuses me.
Sorry.
To me, women are barely people.
Sorry.
That's just the way she goes.
There's a video on YouTube that summarizes my feelings about this. It's called "Women Are Retarded Animals That You Can Have Sex With."
Yeah, just like in Canada. It's pretty much the law in Canada. So.
Isn't that from the Quran?
It's also like that in Canada. So.
That video, by the way, is from Smegma King, who I really recommend. He was booted off Twitter. He's that dude
really?
who does that.
I'm shocked. Fine, upstanding citizen with a name like Smegma King.
Well, his YouTube channel.
Jack called Mohammed the paedophile. Not his name there. I got banned from a website for pretending to be Mohammed and then trying to convert people to Islam. And someone else who was called Jesus, and we used to have wicked arguments about who had the best religion. It was amazing.
Shoving this plastic thing on here. It's mostly on.
I really recommend Empty Heroes channel if you like just a white dude doing an almost offensive black guy impersonation with like a lisp, just reviewing games and like telling weird stories that may or may not be true.
People keep telling me I should do things like that, but I'd get myself killed or arrested very quickly from the things I say. I'd just have to pretend it was a character that I was playing and then not to get angry. I had Muslims, I said something bad about Islam on the internet and on Facebook, and they messaged me, private messaging me, telling me what they're going to do.
There we go. One solid snap. Got the HDD in there. We did it. Well, what do we have here? Checking the comments. Margaret, I just thought of this joke and I wanted you to see it. Let's see your video gams. Thank you. Y'all are a bunch of nerds.
Like your legs?
I think. I don't know where the gam ends.
I think it is legs, isn't it? Because he says it in. Remember Private Ryan, that German geezer says it, don't he? Because like Betty Grable, nice gams or something, in his weird accent.
Something people stopped saying in like the mid-40s.
Do you lot in Canada like object to Saving Private Ryan as much as we do in England? Because the fact that they didn't show us on the beaches. You know, I
don't know. I didn't watch Saving Private Ryan. I didn't like it, actually. I watched the first 2 minutes and I said that's enough for me. My grandfather was on the beach on D-Day, and I'm just like, I think it's kind of gross that. I forgot about that. I do actually have some feelings about what's right and wrong in media, but I don't really want anyone to stop making that media. I think it's kind of weird that people can pretend to be somebody else and pretend to get killed in this thing and then just kind of get up and go for lunch. That just is weird for me. So I just don't watch it. And nobody else can watch it either. Rah!
I find it strange. We play Battlefield 1 and sit there like reenacting the shit that my great grandparents went through for fun all the time. But there you go.
What do we have here? Okay, that's.
You guys ever play Wolfenstein: The New Order?
No, I'm just used to the old school Wolfenstein.
No, I heard good things though.
Yeah, it's really good. It's basically it's an alt-right paradise. It's set in the future. It's set in the 60s where the Nazis won World War II. But for some reason, there are still Jews around. Well, there's a Jew. There's one.
And he's put on a train to the east pretty damn fast.
No, he's already in a camp, actually. Do you want me? Can I spoil something, or?
Yeah, sure. He'll be on a train. Is it William? Is it Commander Keen's grandpa?
He's the main character, and I think he's a Jew. But like the twist, the way the Nazis won is that the Jews all like had a secret society where they have all this extremely advanced tech and like weaponry that they just built because they wanted to and not like never to use it. So the Nazis, like the Jew that you find, the Jewish guy, he's like a member of the secret society, and they have this underwater sea base just with power suits and like all this fucking crazy shit.
Have you seen that Trump's threatening to do a rally in the UK because they won't let him speak to the UK Parliament?
That's really funny. I hope he does.
That's going to be amazing. Me and my friends we're already making plans to go.
Okay, I have a bunch of different pluggy things that I have not plugged in yet, but should I just go for the take a look at this graphics card? Because I haven't actually opened this yet. I'm really excited, and I wanted to open it when everyone else is here.
What games come with it?
I think it just has something for XSplit.
There's always something that comes with graphics cards. There's always like a couple of games.
I'm just gonna move this and static paper over here. My laptop over the way a bit. That there. Yeah, I haven't even cracked this open yet. Beautiful T90. I mean, yes, I've had a lot of wine. 980 Ti.
That's what I have.
Second. So it's gonna be good.
Just you take a lot of meds though. Just drinking not send you to lally. Like,
say what?
Just you take a lot of meds, don't you, for your illness? Just drinking not just send you a bit around the bend.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's something that I can digest. Nobody's told me to stop drinking. Maybe because they were like, that's just too cruel. So,
what illness?
I have ulcerative colitis, so I had to have my large intestine removed.
Oh, wow.
So I actually had a really impressive case of ulcerative colitis, so they keep never knowing how to treat me. But let's do the grand opening of this. GeForce GTX. Welcome to the stream, which features a big old beautiful box.
That's what she said.
It's the grand opening of your box.
Yeah, it feels so expensive.
This whole stream, the last one, has just been puntastic. I've just been a good boy. And
I know this isn't a relationship stream, but I found a good one on our /relationships.
So tell everybody what we've been doing on Monday nights and how we're gonna get more people on this. We've decided to call it a new name.
Straight talk.
We're gonna try to get people to call in with their problems.
We just recently, like on Mondays, the last couple of weeks, we've been reading funny r/relationships threads, and sometimes giving them advice, but most often just laughing at their stupidity and their problems. Like my 33 male wife, 32 female of 7 years, just got breast implants a few months ago, and it started to affect her behavior.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're for.
And then
they weren't getting tests so they could sit in the coach and watch TV.
On the one hand, part of me is afraid that she's giving off red flags, and I might be on the way to getting, quote, cucked, for lack of a better term.
Did you just look up the word cucked? This is gorgeous.
I love how cuck became like a mainstream word. It went from like a fringe thing to this mainstream word, and everybody now just calls everybody cuck.
And quick. But I think some people use it and still don't know what it means.
What, you mean like the word bigot? Do you know how many liberals I've made cry by going, what's bigot mean? They've called Trump a bigot. Oh, it's beautiful.
Name one thing Trump said that's racist.
Mate, I had a man in tears. He was literally crying because he couldn't. He'd never thought further than his a bigot argument. And one guy went, "You're so immature," and then left the Xbox party after I.
Was it Jim Jeffries? Did you see that jackass on TV?
What a fucking cunt! Do you know what?
Holy
he's really
shit!
Funny.
I
he's
liked him. Right
really funny. Yeah.
Right up until I saw that, now I just can't watch him.
Have you seen Bill Burr? Like Bill Burr's blatantly not pro-Trump, but he's been so like unbiased about it all and sensible and that. And it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I get where you're coming from, Bill. But Jim Jeffries, what a fucking child. Yeah. He made one of the best jokes I've ever heard.
How the fuck do they... I still don't know how they linked Hitler and Trump.
It's literally Hitler. Didn't you know this?
Like, I figured he's Hitler's son. That's the only way I can get the combination.
Well, people always just call whatever politician that they don't like that one Hitler. They did that with Obama, and probably, but I think they did that with George Bush.
I'm
Both
going
of
to
them.
make a proclamation. I'm going to say that Trump is going to be the more important man than Hitler.
Almost certainly.
Oh,
I don't
hope
know.
Just like a bigger deal.
He can really
Millions
shake
and
the
millions of
world
people
up.
died in World War II, but a lot of other people were involved in fucking up in World War II. It wasn't just Hitler, who was a gigantic asshole. Trump pretty much did this all by himself.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, he's like a Charlemagne. Everyone just can't stop talking about him.
He's
I've
just a
got on
genius
the
at,
Trump
like,
train almost immediately, and I've been shitposting on Facebook. And bearing in mind this is
I was.
England for like 18 months now, and mainly just to piss my brother off. That's why I started liking Trump, just to annoy my liberal brother. And like when we had the Brexit, he cried. He was literally crying, and then fucking called me a racist and all the other things. And I was like, mate, I'm not even going to speak to you ever again if you're going to carry on with this fucking patheticness. He was not brought up like that to be such a. Oh.
I literally ran for the Green Party in the last federal election. Now I'm a huge Trump supporter.
Yeah. Wait.
I think
hands
it's like
up. I
the
used to be a
Dal
dirty
Props is the head
lefty.
of the Green Party now or something.
as soon as I
Green
try-
Party's completely gone in Nova Scotia.
My friend's going to run for the UK Independence Party, which has just come out of nowhere. But it's funny as well because he looks like.
Pip.
Yeah, he's the spitting image of Jon Snow as well. So there's main possibilities. It was like a joke like 7 years ago. It's like, you look like Jon Snow. You know what I mean? I hadn't read the books or anything, and then it's just ran with it for the last 7 years. It's just been amazing to watch him grow as a character.
Just
I tried to do the books. I couldn't do it. Way too much jumping back and forth and fucked up names.
I don't want to read them. I read books. I read fantasy as well.
Yep.
But I like
I
the
love to
TV
read.
series, and that's not really that good.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's my claim to fame. I went clubbing once with Alfie Allen, who's Theon Greyjoy in that show.
Oh, nice. I like
And
seeing that.
Ah.
ass hit
Yeah, and he pissed me off, so I threatened to knock him out. So there you go. That's my claim to fame. He's a fucking arsehole. His sister's quite famous and a twat as well. And like, I swear, when we were outside the nightclub, he went, "Do you know who I am? I'm and so sister." And I was just like, "What a cunt!" Like,
Yeah. As soon as you say, "Do you know who I am?" That's instant.
he wasn't even famous then, though. Now he's arguably he's more famous than his sister and his dad. But his dad and his sister are really famous in the UK. You know what I mean? It's just like,
What's wrong with both of their faces? Like, I liked a few Lily Allen songs, but there's something wrong with their face. Are they just Anglos?
They're British.
yeah,
When I lived in
this
Scotland,
racism will not stand.
when I lived in Scotland, people would come up to me in the bar and go, "Wow, you have nice teeth."
That whole thing is a myth. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, I lived in Scotland for a year, and you have not believed how many
Scotland?
girls. Their first thing they say to me is, "You have amazing teeth."
No, that's
Like rugby.
Scotland. That's the land of heroin addicts and shortbread. Yeah.
I lived in the ghetto in Scotland too. It was hilarious.
I remember
But
by my
we
college.
have
Guy out here.
we have free healthcare and free dental care, and anyone who's got bad teeth has chosen to be like that.
Yeah.
There's no excuses for it. And don't get me wrong, you do get those people, but
I
we
just think they just don't care. They're not as superficial as North Americans are. They just
but
don't.
that's
give
the
a
thing.
fuck.
It's not. We don't go to the extreme of a fake, completely straight teeth, fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like blindingly white teeth. You know what I mean? Like people don't go. And we drink tea. Tea doesn't help. You know what I mean? Like it really
Yep.
doesn't help.
I just washed my hands off with alcohol here before grabbing this thing. Sides.
I've got images of you just pouring your wine on your hands. Like, yes. That'll
No,
do
they
it.
have nice burn
Never
lab.
clean, never clean.
Grief, look at this thing. All that work on the back.
That is a beast.
Not a human hand touch.
Imagine how many Chinese kids that took to make that.
No more Chinese kids, just robots.
Gorgeous.
Not quite yet. I mean, they've got safety nets outside the window, so they can't kill themselves. You know what I mean?
I need to
Just
figure
for
out how
iPhones.
many of these do they have to pop out, and I guess I have to remove 2 of them to get this thing to fit. Okay, put this guy back down.
This is like medical surgery.
I have to say, I like your motherboard. It's black and red. I felt quite sad, really. That I was that impressed by it. I was like, "Oh, that's pretty, isn't it?" It's like, oh
It's
god.
all very pretty. But I have to pop these. I have these little things here in the back that I have to pop up. Gotta get these things out.
You ready for more snow?
Oh, fuck, there's not more snow, is there?
Yeah, tomorrow night they're calling for heavy snow.
We had snow over here.
If it wasn't for my nice little neighbor, my female privilege is the neighbor shovels out our walk. That's what he did.
That's not female privilege.
I got female privilege for you.
It's hoping.
The ex-girlfriend was out and she couldn't get to work because she couldn't get out of the driveway, and the neighbor across the road was snow blowing. I said, go out and grab the shovel and he'll blow you out. It wasn't 3 minutes. She was shoveling. He come over and completely blew her out.
The only reason I even know what a snowblower is because he says your mother was a snowblower.
Well, there's almost too much snow around here for snow blowing.
Yeah. Well, we got like 3 feet in 24 hours.
3 feet, that's taller than Margaret.
And it drifted everywhere here.
Oh man,
around here.
my car was completely buried.
We have like an inch of snow in England, and the whole country comes to a standstill.
Yeah, when I was in Scotland, we had snow, and we Canadians went down. We only had like maybe 2 inches, and 3 of us walked down to go to rugby practice. And no one showed up.
So you lived in New Scotland and Scotland.
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Like, clearly.
If I've lived in both places, that tells you.
I love to mock the Scottish, but I am actually the direct descendant of Robert Burns, which makes me the King of Scotland, basically.
It's like the movie King Ralph. Have you seen it?
King Ralph, yeah, exactly. It's like that. Yeah.
I watched that the other day just for shits and giggles. I got stoned and fucking.
Nice.
My mum's Irish, but I've got like the most English surname ever, so no one ever knows that I'm Irish. But then they meet my mum, and it's like, there you go, it's my secret's out. They know about my ethnic disability, as I like to refer to it.
Okay, time to
insert
mother in here.
That thing is massive. Like, fucking hell.
That slot in there. Make sure I'm looking at the right spots here. Pop out another one of these.
You need one of those old school cave headlights.
I still think it would have been easier just to make Simon a sandwich and let him do it for you.
Yeah. I like to pay people to do this.
Girlfriend. I can't force him over here.
I'm sorry, darling. I've got to go and help Margaret. I know it's Valentine's Day.
You're like, nope.
No Valentine's Day in Pakistan now.
Yeah.
No Valentine's Day in most of England. Especially Leicester. I'm still laughing the other day, Margaret posted something about Milo, and it had like my tin pot town. Like, I don't want to say too much. I don't give a fuck anyway. But yeah, like Milo's got county court judgments in my town. It was like of all the fucking places that you could have them. It was just like, just imagine him turning up all fabulous, go to court, going, "I'm sorry, darling."
There's an extra thing here. I'm not even sure what those county judgments mean. Somebody else sent them to me.
It's when you've got it's fines and stuff for when you owe money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he might have been in trouble for not paying his taxes or something, and then you get one of them, or like, you know what I mean? Or you got an overdraft or something like that. My brother's got a few from his university days, and he was stupid enough to buy a house with his now ex-girlfriend, and didn't get his name put on the mortgage. So, but you can guess what happened there. You got dumped on Blue Monday, Margaret. I'm blaming you, personally.
I told you that's Blue Monday is the day that everybody is.
I never even heard of it until you did that stream, and then it was like.
Oh yeah, January and February is like the best time to see people get dumped. It's funny.
Oh yeah, no, that's because women planning.
Because they already collected the Christmas presents. That's why.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
They just hold out for the money. Get the money gift
you have
and
to have
run.
somebody to bring around with you to.
You buy a real shitty gift and then you get your good gift and run.
That's where you dump your girl before Valentine's Day. Do you know what I mean? Not before she's got a chance. Just get out there. No, sorry, love.
No, you got to wait and see what she gets you. Then it's always going to be in the back of her mind that maybe it was the gift he broke up over.
Or the lack of steak the month later.
Yeah, no steak and blowjobs. No burrito and butt day.
I'm going to look into that.
It's definitely a thing. I've heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Times.
I didn't hear of it.
It's on the fucking radio.
Let's see. UrbanDictionary.com.
Q104 talked
I
about it all
think
day.
it's got an article.
Oh, really? 104.
It's for ladies and gay men.
So I have this odd little like metal brackety thing coming out of the GTX.
It's in the wrong spot. Just fold it over.
I just don't know if there's anywhere for it to actually go.
Why has no one designed a desktop computer other than a rectangle?
People, didn't Mac, like Apple Mac, bring out like a circular one or a cylinder shaped one at one point? Or
I
don't
remember.
know.
I think that might have just been the monitor.
I fucking hate Apple. It's a great moment I found out you'd never bought an Apple product, Margaret.
Yeah, I've
just
never.
like,
I had
like
I had
products, I just
two
never
apples.
needed
And I never went back.
Margaret's not a thought.
I did IT at college and at university, and like no self-respecting person who knows anything about computers would ever buy an Apple product. And then when you get Apple fanboys trying to explain to me, and it's just like, mate, just stop embarrassing yourself.
It's like trying to explain feminism.
So yeah, but why'd you pay £5 for a computer? 5 times the amount of money for a computer, half the speed. Well,
and Samsung makes most of their internal components anyways.
Okay, I've been having trouble getting the GPU in here, so I'm just gonna remove this portion of the back and then try to slip it in that way.
Think about it like this. What do feminists use more, Macs or PCs?
Macs.
Dildos.
Exactly. Well, no, they don't even let phallic objects. They don't even let phallic objects.
They do. Lesbians shouldn't be allowed dildos anyway. They made their choice.
You have to take at least one dick.
My mum actually, incidentally, when I was younger, my mum had friends who were lesbians. And they were actually like the mythical hot lesbians. Do you know what I mean? Like both of them were super hot. It was just okay.
I ended up living with lesbians once.
It's astounding. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, what the? It's just bizarre. I feel like they didn't get the memo. Like, no, you both can't have like great asses and flowing hair. This doesn't make sense.
But they beat each other. That's the worst part.
Yeah, isn't domestic violence the worst between lesbians?
The ones I live with, literally, I had to go out and tell one of them I was going to drag her to the apartment by her hair. She did fuck off.
There's a lot of domestic violence with lesbians and anybody who smokes. Nothing will start a domestic violence incident faster than you finish who smokes.
Yeah, but
I wish I were joking.
Yeah, but seriously though, like, bitch should have got more fags. It's the end of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, she should have got more cigarettes before she got punched.
You know what they say? Lesbians talk with their fists.
Very true.
My friend's girlfriend's epileptic. She had a fit the night and fell over and got a black eye and stuff. But I've been spreading rumours that he uppercutted her on the way down.
You sure you can, her? Get a good old fashioned Street Fighter too.
Okay, I have this beast in its slot. I'm
going to be back in a second.
You broke the seal.
He's fucked now, guys.
Yeah.
Actually,
he'll be gone every 5 minutes.
Sip of my wine.
You're nursing it. You almost need a nipple on it.
Yeah. Hey, go fuck your mother. Not until after
I told you about that. I told you about that.
Where did I put that bracket?
Just because I'm in the valley. I'm not a goaler. I'm a car.
I hope you get killed on that fucking highway to Halifax.
That was one of the most deadliest highways in Canada per mile.
Oh yeah. That's why I chose that joke.
They're like, we don't really need to twin it right yet.
It's like, nope, just wait for a couple more bodies to pile up. Make me feel a little more panicky about driving down to Wolfville. Oh, there's the bracket. And everywhere, and she's right under me. Oh, yeah.
I remember with my computer, current computer, the one before I had, the one before this, it just completely stopped working when I was out for dinner once. Like I came back and I couldn't turn it on. So I basically gutted it and just kept all the good parts, like my, mainly my graphics card. And I just put it in a new PC that I ordered off the internet. It actually worked surprisingly well.
Everyone's trying to rip on my overcharged power supply unit here, but this thing will be able to take me around to a few other computers after this.
You'll have more power. You'll have more electrical power than Mike Pence.
Oh yeah, more powerful than Mike Pence when he sees
Did he not?
an interracial gay couple.
Did he not never say what the whole joke is like? It's built on lies. That he never actually said anything like that. He just said that I didn't see any problem with people having electroshock therapy, which is a genuine thing, isn't it? Like,
oh yeah, electroshock therapy can actually be incredibly effective for schizophrenia and bipolar disorders.
Yeah. If somebody's gay and they want to like do something about it themselves, whatever. If somebody's straight and wants to do something about it, whatever. Dude, I wouldn't recommend it myself, but like people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Just don't know if electroshock would work to change somebody's sexuality.
Well, you don't know until you try. That would make a great movie.
A lesbian now?
That would make a great movie. Like some dude, he wants to, or like a documentary. It would be like a Super Size Me, but he's trying to become gay. Like his next project after whatever, the one where he tries to live off of minimum wage.
What would you call it?
Shocking. With like an exclamation point, but it's made out of electricity.
Tase the gay away.
Well, you could go with Super Size Me and just add guys instead of size, but I don't know what to do instead of super size. Fit the guys inside me.
Like he goes into the office with like the psychiatrist or whoever's doing the electroshock. It's like, okay, we're gonna attach these jumper cables. Please take your shirt off.
My friend's doing a psychology degree, and I keep reminding him that it's a nasty pseudoscience, and he's wasted his time. He's not impressed.
Just trying to get a tight seal on hooking this 980 into here. What?
I hear the word seal, and then I think about I've been trolling my friends by singing "Kiss from a Rose" down the microphone as much as possible, yeah. But
it's a fucking romantic song.
It backfired, and I had it in my head for like 6 months solid, and like I've got so many different versions of it in my mind now that I sing to myself, and I just every time I sit there, and I shake my head and like this backfired really badly.
Does anybody know any words beyond like? But did you know that when it's
I don't. I always make it up. I can't believe you're singing. Oh,
it's got like a medieval kind of tune to it, don't you think?
Oh shit! I remember. I think it was on an earlier stream. Someone told you to look up mouth moods or something.
Oh yeah, I looked it up, and like the first version that I saw said like, "Sorry, it's been like DCMA'd to shit." So.
Well, some of the tracks are because he uses like
that was my buddy Simon, like my one IRL friend that interacts with me online.
Your only friend, your only real life friend. I know that.
I have a lot of friends. Just every once in a while. Oh my gosh, I was saying this on another stream, but I was at a political convention the other day, and it was so cute because people that I haven't seen in a year, they were like, "So I'm a little worried about your internet," and like they're like, "We see some of the things some of the weird emails that you get." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, haha, like you've never gotten a rape threat till you've heard somebody play it on acoustic guitar. and I'm just starting like laughing, telling them about all these great crazy things that have happened to me. They're like, so maybe learn some self-defense.
I watched your stream, your Periscope stream, when you were at that convention, and he said no mean-spiritedness, and I was just thinking, that's you out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there goes me. It was nice to meet everybody. I really like going to right-wing political conventions because everybody just kind of agrees to just like get
echo chamber. Am I right?
No, like I say, my friend wants to run for UKIP, so hopefully we're gonna get me Nigel Farage himself, the man himself.
Look at that. Yeah. She's in. Oh, yeah. He's in. Nice.
Yeah. So what I was saying is the intro to the last track on his album, which is called "Shit." Yeah. It starts with that Seal song.
Can you route it through your microphone to let us hear it?
Okay, let me just let me see if I can just get my what's it called?
I honestly keep forgetting that I need to make money off of the different horrible threats to get from people instead of just fucking laughing at it and posting them on Facebook. Guys, I think I have everything. I have all the hardware to do this. I did a thing. Yay. So now it's just cable management. Yeah.
My
Great.
PC has no side in it. I'm looking at the side of it and I'm thinking, yeah, what management?
Wait, were you able to hear a little intro there? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just put my
Can't
thing
hear
up to the mic.
Can't hear shit. Next time on part 3, wires.
I'm assuming that he heard the song. He just fucking couldn't take it.
No, nothing was coming through. But
Oh, really?
now comes the time when I start to struggle.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Now I have to hear this.
Wait, let me restart it.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. It's like old school girl talk.
Oh my god. Oh god.
This is the best album ever made.
Spice Girls. My God.
Okay, that's pretty wild. If anybody's wondering what we're doing, this is I don't know if it's the artist or the album, just called Mouth Moods. I don't even know where the fuck this goes. Type 4. Power supply.
It just keeps going on like that.
Okay, I'm gonna try hooking up the
Fucking
the HD.
beautiful. I really recommend this album, and it's free. You can go to his website and download it.
Do you know who makes good mixes? Is Devin Tracy. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
that like,
Like,
race
which one is
mixing?
Devin Tracy again?
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Atheism Unstoppable.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I just kind of ignore all the atheism stuff. That is my one stance.
It's just a.
Yeah.
It's a
No, he doesn't really talk about religion anymore.
Nobody talks about atheism anymore.
I know that's
Yeah,
why it's
really.
cancer. That's
isn't
why
that
it's
a one
cancer.
battle? It's just pointless. It's like picking on retards.
Okay, get this plugged in now. Come on, HDD, trying to hook up the HDD to the power supply unit right now. And I think that's in. Little pins.
Locked and loaded.
And as I'm doing it, I'm trying to wire everything through the back. So this side will have a window on it, and the other side will just look like trash, and it'll be all covered up. So, and then the hard drive has to be connected to the Mobo, I believe. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
You need more
definitely
wine.
the point.
According to the
This
chat, I
is
sound like
I have no
Thunderfoot.
effing clue what's happening.
Yeah, but at least I'm not. I sound like Thunderfoot, but I don't have a fucking mental breakdown over Brexit, did I? Unsubscribed, mate. The last couple of years, yeah, from Gamergate to now, I've lost so much respect for so many people. I've had to unbookmark so many websites. I used to read cracked.com every day, and
I honestly still do because they have really good writing. It's cringy as heck, but it's still very, very good writing.
it's just.
I used to read.
I looked over in the chat and I thought somebody said that it sounds like you sound like Robot Shapiro. I was like, Ben's a robot now.
I tell you, you know what? You made some joke about Ben Shapiro. I've had it up to here with Ben Shapiro. I'm not even joking. That was it. That was when I started following you. I think I was just like,
I've had it up to here with Ben Shapiro, and
Yeah.
He's like tequila. You want a shot or two, and that's it. Then you don't like the smell of it.
Here. You know who I've met in
It's so
real
funny.
life?
I almost feel bad because when I wrote tweets for Milo, I used to just dunk on him hard. It's so much more fun to LARP as a gay man.
I sound like
if you
Barry
guys could
Shippies.
ever pretend you're gay, be fantastic.
I would have made a fucking amazing gay. I really would have done.
That's what I wonder if I'd be doing better in the relationship department if I was either a gay dude or a chick. I know definitely for sure.
Well, it's
According to
after
Lucky,
Valentine's Day, so now is pretty much the best time to start going after chicks.
Yeah.
Just try to find somebody who spent Valentine's maybe not crying on their floor, but be like, "What'd you do for Valentine's?" "Oh, like I went for a run." Like, watched a sad movie. That's pretty much how you can judge other women you're going to be dating. If they say I watched they said they were doing like building a gaming PC on a live stream, that's probably a good sign.
the Fempire is going to have you killed, Margaret, for giving away their secrets. You know this.
Fempire is going to be fucking happy because I'm trying to get the fellas talking to them all. Trying to convince everybody that not all women's are crazy.
My brother used to feel like that until recently, for some reason. He said it to me the other day. It's like, I didn't think all women were crazy, but now I do. It's like, yeah, there you go.
Well, we are. You just have to deal with it. That's why we're so obsessed with our looks. We know that we're crazy, so we at least try to be pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's still
imagine if I got to wear makeup, how fucking gorgeous I'd be. It was just...
Think about that. They still put lead in lipstick.
They put like whale parts in lipstick and everything.
Whale won't make your brain go crazy.
They put dorks in your lipstick. Everyone here knows what a dork really is, right?
No.
It's a whale penis. That's serious. I'm serious. A dork is a whale penis.
Has anyone ever seen that Blackfish film about
no,
thingy?
I've seen it.
Someone in that, their job was to wank off whales. Like, what the? What do you tell your parents? What do you tell your parents?
On your resume after you're done after a few years?
Man, you do that for cattle, it pays well.
Yeah, but at least like people have heard of people who've done artificial insemination on cattle. At least you can explain that job. It's like I jerk off whales. It's like, wait a second.
That's not even like that's
sperm whales.
You just gotta phrase it correctly. Like
it just sound like you're dating feminists.
Yeah, whale breeder.
They could probably put a catheter in a whale and they wouldn't even know you were taking it.
Oh yeah. I guess it really depends. I guess the catheter would still just go up the urethra, so you wouldn't know if it's urine or semen coming out.
Well, I imagine the color.
I just have like a medical view of it by this point in my life.
I don't know. I used to date a nurse, and she was like, she reckoned she was really good at that, like just sliding it on, and I don't know the details, but
it's not good. I had one when I was in the hospital.
Oh yeah, they're not fun.
No, it's dry rubber being shoved in your urethra.
Oh yeah.
Peggy, my urethra. No, that wasn't a good Hank. Peggy, my urethra. I used to be able to do a good Hank Hill. I love that show. Dang it, Bobby, what'd you do with my urethra? I put propane in it, Dad.
Okay, so right now I have in hand, I have the power supply, the power cord that is connected to the on button in front. There's probably a real name for the on button. But now I'm pretty much just counting how many pins are in this and trying to figure out where to shove this thing. I don't know if it goes.
Remember the good old days when shit was just color coordinated?
Yeah, but
Red
nowadays,
goes into Red Bull.
your PC, it's so hard to go wrong because all the plugs fit the sockets. Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah, they're all
hardly any mistakes you
shape-sized.
can make. Yeah.
That's why they give you that little ball when you're a kid with the different shapes. You got to put the triangle in the triangle.
Yeah. And our power supply unit fucking exploded one day, and and then I got a new one. It was easy. It was just like, this goes there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't really go wrong.
I'm running on an
20
8-year-old
sockets in here, so
laptop.
I'm looking for something with
Guys,
20
if
pins.
building a PC was so easy, then why wasn't Brianna Wu able to do it? She's a tech feminist. She knows what she's doing.
I mean, it's not. She can't. She hasn't even got the excuse that she's a woman either. Do you know what I mean? Like,
And there's really no shame in struggling to build a computer.
I'm going to move to America and vote for her when she runs for.
You got to move to Massachusetts. At a very specific part of Massachusetts. That's part of like. I really just want to. I can't wait for to see her actually run, because the current person who she's running against, or she'll have to run against, is another Democrat, but her campaign is focusing on how Donald Trump is fucking shit up.
Yeah,
she's
the
going
person
against
running
a
against
Democrat. What?
could sit in a chair and never say a word and win.
Yeah.
She can literally just go
person
to the other person.
The other person hasn't won, hasn't lost a re-election yet. The popular vote.
Did you see when she kicked Ralph? Is it Ralph? Was it Ralph from the Ralph at all?
Yeah.
When she booted him
That's
out.
one of the funniest videos.
And her fucking weeaboo husband, the little bitch, like following. Oh my god!
Isn't Ralph smaller than Brianna Wu?
Yeah, men like him are the reason that we're in the state that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, okay, apparently this 20 socket thing plugs into the motherboard, but I can't find the pins that go with it. So I'm glad you guys are here. So as I'm staring at the motherboard, we're all being entertained.
Is Ralph still in prison for assaulting?
No, he hasn't gone yet. They haven't finalized the sentence. I don't.
For doing what?
It feels like I'm waiting on the verdict of the Chris Chandler assault trial again.
Oh, Christian. That's someone I only know because of you, Margaret. Honestly, fuck you, Margaret. Why do I have to know about that person? That's your
Chris
fault.
Chan is
I'm
beautiful.
sure, no, fuck you. Your life is better.
I was telling my friends about the furries raping the kid just as Tony the Tiger, and they were like, "How the fuck do you know this stuff?" And I was just like, "Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah." Sorry about that,
beautiful
everyone.
thing about everything that I do. It's I recommend reading as many headlines as possible. Somebody says this goes in the lower right-hand corner. But
what I like to do is what normal people do: is read the headline and not read any more than that, and then I'll just,
Wait, is
Canada made bestiality illegal, and it's like, I don't care about the details. I'm just going to throw that out there. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I do.
That is what news is now. There's no such thing as news. It's just headlines.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You don't have to read the news. You can get quite a bit of the gist from the headlines.
Well, that's it's pretty fucking harmful, because we live in a society where our news media is all about getting clicks, getting people in. The best way to do that is with catchy headlines that may or may not be true or represent the actual content of the article.
Well, Facebook will get after you if you don't put something that's true in your headline. You can't just be like, "Holy shit, click this." That can't be your headline. You have to give them.
Not even that, but
But how does anything feminist get on?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they'll say "Oh, Donald Trump," or person said thing about feminism or whatever, and it's completely taken out of context, or they'll issue a retraction later, because we've been seeing that a lot recently.
YouTube is the new media, and it's the new honest media.
Yeah, but on actual websites like CNN, or more classic websites, I said actual.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think as much as I love Sargon and stuff, I feel like he pulls his punches all the time, because of the following that he's gained. You know what I mean? That he politically corrects himself.
Yeah, I know. Depends what channel he's on too, because he
a
acts
fucking
different on
stream
different
and told
channels.
us what he really thought about everything.
Say that again, Margaret.
I'd love to see a no holds barred Sargon stream where he's just this is what I actually believe about everything.
And then everything.
He's so good at keeping his kind of belief set of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
All feminists, left-wing people,
And
are
yeah,
secretly.
you're a bit socialist here, a bit this way, but he really does. Like, I honestly think that he's a good guy.
That stream he did with Milo was pretty good when they were drunked up. He let loose.
That was great when Jim was like left alone for 10 minutes.
Oh, is that when they were,
yeah.
is that when they were wearing wigs and stuff?
Oh,
yeah, that was the wig one. That was the wig wearing one where they looked like they were gonna make out, and they had Jim on it. And Jim was like, "So they've logged off." He's like, "I have all their information." He's like, "So what should we do, fellas?" It's like, should we
get him banned. Get him banned.
Wait, Jim is in Mr. Medicare?
Yeah, that Jim.
Yeah.
Is that who?
Trying to figure
the connection.
JT.
Right, I'm gonna be back in a second.
Maybe.
That's where I first heard of you, I think, Margaret.
You're stuck with me now.
I know. What a sin.
Y'all are stuck with me. Fuck, and I can't figure out where to stick this fucking Mobo because this thing has 20.
You can
20
stick it up your ass.
There's only 20 slots. I could, but it's kind of delicate up there.
Yeah.
Been a lot of surgery.
Like you said, Mobo, right?
I think that's what I need.
You can stick this mofo up your ass.
Oh man, I haven't used the word mofo unironically since like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my cousin uses it all the time and it's so annoying. Because she doesn't want to swear.
Because I asked the Mobo yet. So let's do that now, shall we? 4 pins, like these guys. They're the.
You're being so delicate.
I'm just teeny tiny. That's my problem.
Guys would have been shoving those prongs into holes just to see if it might fit.
Stream. Oh, that was a fun stream. Oh, that was fun. Very fun and very tiring. To you? What are you? I don't think.
What stream are you on about?
Yeah.
What stream are you on about? Sorry.
People are just saying, "Oh, this is how I found Margaret," and I apologize for all of you being stuck with me now because.
What stream were they on about though? Which one did they find you on?
That one with Milo and Sargon.
But
Big
yeah,
Milo.
the Milo Sargon one. I still want to like, if I ever get to meet Milo, I'm just gonna like kick him in the nuts and be like, "Okay, let's have a drink."
Have you seen the new fad that's going on YouTube now? Cunt slap. Slap her in the pussy.
That would. I don't know if that would hurt, but it would just be so awkward. Like, you know how it's kind of hard to bruise on like parts that you're hit all the time. If somebody just like slapped you on your butt, you'd be like, I don't know if this is gonna bruise or not. Like, I'm not used to getting smacked there. Just like what do I even do? Where does this even plug into? Mobo must be. I think eventually plugs into the Mobo. Okay, that's the graphics card. There we are. Why is there like Cyrillic and all this non-English instructions? Why?
Far Cry 3 actually explained it. It's all about like it's all about capitalism and being able to ship your stuff all around the world with minimal changes.
What I learned from Far Cry was that the Pacific Islanders need a white man to come in and save them from the evil black pirates.
Yeah,
that was basically it. And
I haven't played any of the Far Cries. Was the 4th one good?
No. It was Far Cry 3.5, and then they added in co-op, but the co-op was like it just made it so easy. It was such a disappointment.
I didn't play Far Cry 4,
but 3 was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. The weird thing that confused me about Far Cry 3 is the main, or like Voss, the bad guy, the pirate bad guy, is sisters with he's brothers or siblings with the Citra Islander girl, and it's like they have completely different accents. Like the girl has a more African or more African accent, but Voss is clearly Hispanic.
Have you ever seen like the Cosby Show and stuff? Like the color of your skin doesn't matter. Like
Yeah, but they're brother and sister, and they have completely different regional accents.
Have you ever seen Jurassic Park 2 when he has a black daughter? Jeff Goldblum is just like,
oh,
what?
yeah, I was rewatching that the other day. I totally forgot about that. It's like,
See, I think Jurassic Park 3 was a great film. Not a great film, but it was definitely better than 2. And but the ending was like, they ran out of the budget and went, nah, you can't. They literally did do that. They were going to have a battle with the big Spinosaurus and the Marines, and then they had to cut it out because of budgetary reasons. And it definitely felt like that. It was just like, what? On the beach, film ended.
Have people like looking at it and go like, whoa, that guy just opened fire on that giant dinosaur. Ah, crap, the Spinosaurus, he just gored that guy on his spiky tail. Whoa, and then just like splashed a little bit of blood. You can do shit.
I took my brother to see Jurassic Park at the cinema when he was far too fucking little to go, and it was amazing. It was just, I didn't want little brother 5. It's fucking poor kid. He's terrified, but I think he loved it. If you know what I mean. But he was scared at the dinosaur bits. And...
Still plugging in the front panel here. Some pins.
So someone in the chat says I sound like Barry Shitpeas. I take that as a compliment, chat.
Who is that?
Barry Shitpeas is some bloke. He does a bit parts in Charlie Brooker's program, but Charlie Brooker's like he's a lefty. Fuck that guy. Him and some other comedic legend from England were both like shitting on Trump the other day. It's like, oh, more people have to write off. It's just. It's hard in England. Everybody hates, not everybody hates Trump, but all the celebrities do and stuff.
Same in America. Like whenever Trump, whenever Trump tweets anything, he'll always get like 100 like blue check mark people just saying, sarcastically tweeting something at him like, good job, and just trying to virtue signal how great they are.
The shit people tweet to Trump is just ridiculous. They're like, yeah, fuck you, Trump. You're really thick at that. It's like, yeah, he's so thick. You know what I mean? Like, he's president and a billionaire, and you're on Twitter whining.
Oh yeah, he's stupid. Like somebody gave him $1 million and he just fucking fell and it turned into $1 billion.
Have you seen that comic? Yeah, there's a comic when he literally he tripped over and it's like, oh, billions of dollars.
How did that happen?
Did you see him on Oprah back in the 80s when she's like,
yeah,
president?
Oh yeah, that was great.
Fucking score right on.
That was why
Trump's bad enough. That's what he should have been in his campaign if it gets bad enough.
No, but that was one of the videos when this is why Trump's going to get elected, and it was one of those bits, and it was just like, yeah. And people, what my friend said to me, he said, like, what's your love of him? And it was just like, but he had no reason to run for president. He had all that money. Why would he endanger his life and his kids' lives?
No pay.
And I honestly do think he wants to. I honestly think he does it because he wants to be remembered as a great man, and that,
he does.
And that's where it ends. Like,
he's ego.
What other reason does he have to do it?
He's 100% ego driven, and if he's going to make America better with his ego, do her out.
I've got to say though, like I asked Margaret this one, so she disagrees with me, but I think Gamergate. I don't think Gamergate put him in the White House, but I think Gamergate woke a lot of people up.
Oh, definitely.
The press, and it certainly for me completely destroyed my vision of like I used to read the Guardian and the BBC, and I used to trust.
I was exactly the same.
Implicitly, I trusted them, and then I watched them lie in real time about Gamergate, and I was just like, "You what? Yeah. We just want ethical reviews in games. Like, I don't hate women. I mean, like, if we were going to get women out of gaming, we've done a pretty fucking shit job. I mean, look at the stream we're on right now.
Look at you, stupid fucks. Yeah.
Gamers beg for women.
Show us your boobs and get the fuck out, bitch.
That's literally half of Margaret's comment section.
No, everyone's like, show us your GPU. Okay, I got the pins in here from. I just spent that time.
That definitely helped.
There were a couple of pins connected.
That's the saddest part. That's the saddest part.
That's when I started to look for my own,
isn't it? That's several puns disappeared. Sorry, Geezer, I spoke over you then. What's your name, Geezer with the red hat? I know the other Geezer's Manly Chicken.
Fraser.
Fraser, like Joe Fraser.
Yep, but not spelt the same way.
You thought I was going to say Fraser Crane, didn't you?
I did. I was waiting for it. Joe Frazier. Everyone usually takes the first easy one.
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah,
Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali. When Thriller Manila. Well, that's
Thriller Manila.
I wanted Muhammad Ali to win when I was watching it. Then I became a fan of like Joe Frazier just watching one fight. I was just like, what a legend.
I was watching a lot of old boxing matches lately.
I'm boxing bores me now. I'm big into MMA, but like that, even that's become like diluted and
all right,
terrible.
You got the bare knuckle underground in England right now.
But one of my mates is a fucking bare knuckle boxing champion. Like,
there's a guy. I swear to God, there's a guy trying to make it mainstream. Like the UFC had to fight to go from the underground to make that mainstream. He's trying to make bare knuckle fighting mainstream.
The thing is, bare knuckle. It's safer than having gloves because your hands break really easily.
Yeah, it's a quick fight. Like the fights are 10, 15 seconds. Like they're not long.
But your hands break very easily when you punch someone.
Yep.
So like, you know what I mean? So you can't punch as hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they have them wraps underneath the gloves, don't they? Instead of like,
UFC's the gloves are for your hands. They're not for the other guy's face.
Yeah, I mean, I've broke my hand. I broke my hand punching some guy in the head, and like it was just like it was horrifying. It was like, oh my, I can't even defend myself now because I've broke my hand. Do you know what I mean? He did sucker punch my friend though. Do you know what I mean? He totally deserved it. Like, that's what England's like though. Free healthcare, no guns, fighting every weekend. That's what you know what I mean. You can't even help it.
Alcohol in the streets. Yeah, what can go wrong?
Fucking.
I think the chat is getting mad at you guys for not being PC helpers, but I'm slowly getting on here.
We're supervising.
Spit on the motherboard and slather the saliva.
Yeah, well, you guys just have to read to me all the abuse that's happening on the chat.
Wait,
I can't
find me a real life chat. That's what I'm saying.
I can't even see the chat.
No, I've got the street. I haven't been reading it. But...
Damn cables. I'm trying to work all the cables boot back here. Get this SATA.
So what I hate about PCs is how like you buy a PC, 3 years later, you have to buy a new motherboard if you want to change your CPU. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then
3 years.
Change it. I swear it's like every 3 years they do it. Yeah,
or less now.
And we like the abuse.
Well, the thing is, when the internet were a thing, I used to read like PC Gamer, and I'd know every graphics card, every motherboard. You know what I mean? And now, like, I only read up when I have to change my computer. That's the only time I read. Now I never know what's going on, what's the latest thing, and what's this and that and the other. And
just changes so quick. You just give up trying to keep up.
I honestly just use PC part picker for this. I kind of took a look at some benchmarks. I said, this is kind of what I want. I really just wanted a CPU so I could do a lot of video stream and things like that. And then I'm like, I want a really nice GPU because fuck it, I want to play on non-potato settings.
You want to play Monkey Island on 1080p?
Yeah, Monkey Island. I want to play Monkey Island on like 4K.
I love Monkey Island. That's one of my games from my childhood. I just bought it randomly because the graphics look amazing. Like, and then I played it and it was just like, this is so good. I swear I got stuck on the pirate ship when I was a little kid, and that never got any further than that. You had to find like a key inside the cereal box or something. It was like, how the fuck was I ever supposed to work that out when I was a little kid? But my sister used to be able to do Broken Sword when she was really little. My poor sister. My sister's got 3 older brothers and stuff, but she used to play track and field with us on the PlayStation 1, and then like have fist fights with my little brother, and it was so fun. I just never used to stop him. My brother preferred if he used to hit her back and stuff. Sorry, mate.
Who worked on Monkey Island? Tim Schafer.
Oh God! Don't remind me. There's another game. Oh God!
Tim Schafer also worked on what was that one with the Mexican?
Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango.
Yeah, he's worked on good games before.
Yeah, I think that's Broken Age. Was it Broken Age or?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Yeah, that was really good. And like the end of the first part, I was like, oh, that was amazing. And then the second part, he sort of phoned it in, didn't he? It's
because he ran out of money. Tim Schafer's problem is he doesn't know how to budget. He's constantly hiring like Hollywood actors to do parts, and he's putting all his effort into polishing the game, but he isn't actually putting any like substantial shit in there. like Brutal Legend. I played that game for a couple hours and I gave up because the combat sucked so hard. But like everything else was fucking great. The soundtrack was fantastic. All the animations, the writing, all these little things. Like if you failed a mission in a certain way, there'd be a little cutscene based on that. It was great, but the combat was fucking ass. So
just taking a moment here. I'm just repasting all the specs that I'm working with into this. To the,
apparently, he got a publisher for his new for the sequel to Psychonauts, which he earned a shitload of money for.
Another sequel to Psychonauts? Wait a second, there was only one, right?
Well, this Psychonauts 2, whatever he used his new shady crowdsourcing website, Fig.
Fig, yeah.
That he's a member of. He's like he's on the board of.
Okay, I'm just taking a minute here to let everyone know that anyone else is more than welcome to hop onto the Google Hangout. We're pretty much here, just watching me, have some wine. Oh, is it? Yeah, so just throw me a DM on the Twitters, and I will send you the link to this thing, and then we will all have fun. Margaret, you were building a computer for 73 hours already. That's a lot. I took a couple hours break. You know what? I am going slow, but you know what? I'm gonna own it. I am going slow, and I'm gonna do it right. And hopefully, I won't fucking melt the shit. Hopefully, the fans will turn on when I first turn it on. That's what I want in my life. As long as the fans work, I think I'll be fine. I think you should all have more faith in me as I slowly drink more wine. So now that everything's really settled in, I can't really fuck up as much.
You can tell Margaret's drunk because she's slipping into swearing again.
Oh yeah. The more, yeah, definitely. I only had 2 glasses. Well, actually, I had a glass of wine even earlier. I've had a lot of Malbec today, is what I can say. I still can't figure out where the fuck the this 20 whole thing goes in the motherboard. So I'm just going to put that aside for now. And I was able to attach the HDD to the motherboard, and the HDD is attached to the power supply. And there's still 4 pins left on the HDD, and I don't know where the fuck those attach to.
So there's like sometimes they have like 2 different power supply, like an alternative. I can't remember, I don't know what the names of the plugs are, but there's 2 different plugs for power, isn't there? And sometimes they have both. One's the one with 4 pins. You plug like a big. Oh fuck it! I can't remember what the name of it is. I'm sorry. I used to know all the names of these things. We learned them at college, and
I studied ancient Greek philosophy and medieval Catholic philosophy.
Yeah. Like, how did you convince your parents to allow that to happen? Like, if I said to my parents, "Yeah, I'm going to do philosophy," then they went, "Yeah, get the fuck out of my house."
Did as they told us, all of us, they were like, you're not gonna have any fun as children, we're gonna pay for your tuition. We're like, okay. So like we never went on vacations. Like they now, only that they're retired, they have like really nice cars and like a really nice home and stuff. And we all, and bless their hearts, all 3 of us in my family took philosophy.
Wow.
But one of my siblings became a lawyer, so that worked out, and the other one is married and living in the States, and then there's me. So
seems like everybody come out on the winning side.
I was literally having a conversation with my friend about Bertrand Russell today, and about his.
Oh my gosh, I met the guy who played Gimli, Rhys Davies. I met John Rhys Davies at a comic convention, and I was working in the green room, and we sat for like half an hour and talked about how one time he met Bertrand Russell, and I almost started crying. I was talking to John Rhys Davies, and he said, I met Bertrand Russell, and I like got so emotional. I'm like, oh my God, I'm meeting somebody that met Bertrand Russell. He was like, what the fuck, lady? I'm like, I don't care about celebrities. Like, you met a famous philosopher. He told me a story about how when he was a kid, like, 17, 18, 19, and, and he was protesting, and how he used to be really left-wing, and how he was at some sort of rally and Bertrand Russell was there. And he said something offhanded that he thought was, brilliant. And then Bertrand Russell basically turned around and told him why he was wrong. John Rhys Davies can't remember what he said, and he can't remember what Bertrand Russell said, but all he can remember is one time Bertrand Russell told him that he was wrong. I was like, ah.
I can't remember we were talking about it because he was friends with Huxley, weren't he? I don't know how to pronounce his
I
first name.
believe so. I've only read. I have like a Bertrand Russell book. It's probably in my box of books in the basement.
But wasn't he down with like eugenics and saying like the classes shouldn't mix and things like that? That's what we were discussing anyway earlier. I don't know myself.
Not entirely sure. A lot of the newer philosophers I'm not as familiar with, but I do like Hegel. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Thing with like 20 pins on it, or maybe 24. I forget. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. So we're just counting for a moment.
No, I wanted to do film studies when I was a kid. I wanted to do film studies at university, but like, okay, yeah, I couldn't tell my parents that. That's just like, no, that was never going to happen.
I took rugby.
Sorry, just somebody in the chat's asking me, have you plugged power, LED, and other small wires into the JFP1? Yes, I did. I plugged all those guys. Oh, perfect. And there's power to the power switch. Sorry. I know things. Real gamer.
I went to university and college and took rugby.
Thing that we got here. Valentine's Day for you. It's a little wiry.
Whoa.
What?
Computers.
Okay. Wow, you could leave a mark on somebody for this.
Is that unplugged?
Huh?
She's got a stag thing on her wrist.
Okay, so the 24 pins, this is where this feller goes. Okay, once I get this plugged in, I'm gonna have to go for more liquors.
So, what's your name, new geezer who's just joined with the beard?
Oh, yeah. Matthew.
Matthew.
Oh,
My
hey.
brother's called Matthew, so it's nice to meet you.
Wonderful. What do you think of that name?
It means gift from God. It's a bit of a shit name,
yes.
My name means God of War.
Well,
I win every time.
What do you think God means in that sense? Gift from God, like what does that mean?
A gift from Trump,
or what do you
possibly?
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely
Trump. So Trump is God.
Trump is the God Emperor.
I've definitely heard that one. In fact, I was like one of the first people to share that meme like a year and a half ago.
Nice.
What? Yeah.
Did you see the liberals having a meltdown going, oh, if you say he's not Hitler, but you call him the God Emperor, and it's like, yeah, we call him the God Emperor because the God Emperor's like intergalactic Hitler. So we're taking your little thing and we're running with that. And then they're still having a meltdown about it.
It's like not like I play 40K or anything, but I do like the paints.
Do you think that the left doesn't understand like super irony comedy, like all these jokes about Hitler and Nazis and shit, or they're just willfully ignorant to push their own agenda?
I think most of
it's terrible that we're just making a joke of it, even though I find that the more you know about history, the better the jokes get. Because you can make a better joke if everybody in the room knows their World War II history, which I really don't. I know a bit of it, but
it's not even necessarily that. It's like they're saying, oh, they literally are saying they love Hitler. Like
I think they think they know.
They want to gas the Jews, but it's clearly like edgelords on Twitter. And this is
like I think
than,
they
like,
know about like
different than like Sarah Butts saying like, oh, I was just sharing child porn to be edgy. This is more. She actually shared child porn when like
child porn.
People, yeah, Sarah Butts.
Yeah, fucking Sarah Butts.
Neuberg fucking tweeted me back once. So I was like, I couldn't even believe it, and I was just like, oh my god. I was just like, she was like, oh, people are out in trannies. I was like, what's wrong with out in trannies? And she was like, oh, they might get killed in that. And I was like, I suppose that might happen. But like, what the fucking?
My one interaction with Sarah Nyberg. She was tweeting with like Grums or someone, and they were like, she was like, they were trying to get common ground, and she was like, and I said to them, and then she said, yeah, see, we aren't some evil monsters who want to get video games banned. And then I was like, yeah, and we're not like, yeah, I guess, and we're not like monsters who want to like harass women. And then she was like, yeah, you are. You're totally a harassment group. It got ironically, and I was like, okay, fuck off then.
Speaking of which,
Stuff out
Margaret,
here.
Margaret, get out of
Yes,
gaming.
dear.
Get out of gaming.
Oh yeah,
Get out, girl gamer.
just fucking throw this out the window right now.
What do you think you're doing?
You hear that Playboy is finally getting nudity back in the magazine?
Oh no! I mean, what? I was just reading for the articles. Was like, do you know what I mean? No one would ever believe that. It's just then, there you go. And now they do. But didn't they ban? They banned page 3 in page 3 in the Sun in England. There was always a woman with her boobs out, and like they banned that. And like I remember, I don't read the Sun because it's like a fucking it's for like 7-year-olds reading age. And but yeah, I saw one the other day and it had no fucking like the woman didn't have her boobs out, and it's just like, well, Jesus Christ, is that where we've got to now? You know, not.
I don't know. You know what? A beautiful woman does a lot for society. Like, you know, if you want to be
immensely.
Like, you know what? Even seeing beautiful women makes me happy. Just like,
You said something about when a beautiful woman walks in the room, she brightens up the place and stuff, you know, and like. Yeah. I mentioned that to my male friends, and they all agreed completely. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that, like, generally as a man you say or admit. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's sexist or whatever. But like, it's definitely true. Just talking to a beautiful woman is a treat. Do you know what I mean? It's nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the highlights. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the nice things about life, isn't it? Like, it's just ridiculous to pretend it's not true.
I actually think that beauty is much more deeper than just like seeing like this artificial or set up kind of form of beauty. Of course, that's absolutely a wonderful thing to kind of want to look at, but the true beauty of any human being, and particularly since I'm a male and I'm attracted to females, is that there's this darker side to women that most people are never willing to give a chance to explore. And that, for me, is where wisdom kind of really comes from, and learning more about that darker aspect of reality, which may in fact actually exist.
The thing is as well though, like beauty is also like, I think like there's you can physically look beauty, but you can also be repellent in your personality and whatnot. And this can be proved right by, like, if you get a Margaret to do a Valley Girl accent, it's horrific. And what's it, Faith Goldie as well? Like, when you, oh my god.
Oh, poor Faith. Fucking love that woman.
You know what they say?
It's just like, as soon as you do that accent, it's like, oh, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, oh.
You know what they say?
Listen
Beauty
to what
is
they
only
say.
balls deep.
Beauty is only balls deep. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. But don't you feel like you can get past how someone sounds and listen to what they have to really say?
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, but the Valley Girl accent, it just it's like a poster of saying like,
Hey,
I'm a vapid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
if you don't like it,
I know nothing and I'm a cunt. That's basically what it says to me when I hear that accent. It's just like, oh, fuck off. The vocal fry is just like, oh, please. Vocal fry. But anyone with that should fry in the electric chair. As simple as that. That's fucking, oh.
It's like people. The biggest barrier to people thinking that you're smart is not being able to explain what you mean when you're talking. Like, if you have like all these smart ideas, but you can't explain it to people, then people are gonna think you're stupid. Like,
no, not at all.
Yeah, but your accent as well.
That's not my case.
Even just swearing too much. So, like, I swear far too much, and people automatically automatically have you down as stupid because you swear too much. But I've seen things where people have said, like, people who swear a lot are generally more honest because they don't think so much about what they're going to say. You know what I mean? So you say what you mean. You know,
be real.
I mean, I try not to swear in front of little kids and stuff and out and in public and that. But like, in front of adults,
fuck that entirely. No, fuck that entirely. Think about what you're doing when you're not like totally expressing yourself.
Jesus H, this is right.
That's not going to hurt someone else. You don't see that, you know, being crude while not hurting anyone else is not. It just that's not what freedom really is about. And you're basically talking about submission to the collective's perception of what should and shouldn't be, which is bullshit because you're the one charging all that individually?
Okay, I just got the power supply. It took me a while to snap it all into place. I've got like messed up arms now. I got the power supply plugged into the Mobo. I did a thing. Good. Okay, so the HDD is hooked up to power. Mobo is hooked up to power. I don't know. Does the GPU have to be hooked up independently to the power supply?
No. Some of them do. Some of them don't. What's the chat saying? What'd you say, chat?
Who gives a fuck about what the chat ultimately says in the end?
I get a ton of laughs from the chat, I must say, except when it's cancer. And
That's true.
I'm doing my cooler wrong. Ah.
I love getting laughter
Power
from
to
the
GPU.
chat.
Okay, it should have an 8-pin. I see an 8-pin and a 6-pin for the GPU. So I guess I'm gonna go for the 8-pin to plug that into the PSU. What do we have
Yeah,
here?
that's really intense. Amazing. What do you guys think of this machine being like a metaphysical extension of our mind? I think it's incredible
Play some damn
that
good
we
Monkey
are able
Island.
to
That's
do
what that
this.
thing is gonna do.
Yeah, and even that is an extension of your mind. Even that, like getting in the game, you are metaphysically doing something in literally a world you're essentially right now creating. That's fucking amazing. Like, and it's all due to physics, which is basically just symbolism of concepts.
Math
So
does
what
get pretty hard.
symbolism of concepts tells me that there's a fucking key inside a packet of cereal that can, you know what I mean, on a pirate ship.
Well, what the thing is, you're connecting more to your instinct and you're letting it get a hold of you. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a treasure from something I can buy. I'll buy it. Oh, wait, no, there's no more key. So I didn't. You just moved on instinct rather than controlling instinct in itself.
The chat thinks you're either high or on weed. Which is it? High or autistic?
No, this is, I'm a philosopher and an actor, actually.
An actor?
Yep.
That explains it all. My sister's got a degree in drama. She can't get a job. What a fucking surprise.
Yeah. Human condition?
Only all my life.
Yeah,
Okay,
how many times have you ever studied the triune brain?
Sorry, I didn't hear that, mate. What'd you say?
The what brain, sorry?
The triune brain methodology. Ever hear of something like that?
No.
It essentially breaks the brain down into 3 separate parts: the cortical brain, the mammalian brain, and the reptilian brain. And what we essentially learn to do is harness those aspects of our mind and control them to produce truth and acting. Yeah, I guess it's all bullshit, huh? I love women too, amazingly. I love Margaret. I have been following her for like over a year now. Hilarious, so funny. Like, this is such an amazing setup. You're like building this computer and chill as fuck.
This is even gone beyond a Wednesday night. This is my Wednesday, my usual Wednesday. Staring at pins, trying to make sure that I'm getting the right one plugged into the GPU.
Hey, it's not so bad. That's not a bad way to live sometimes. It could be so much fucking worse. It could be so much fucking worse.
You could be Anthony Birch. It's classic.
I write poetry too. I'm actually planning on writing a book of poetry and self-publishing it and selling it into small communities first and then getting into larger areas. So yeah, I guess my degree is really useless again. Oh, and I've got a grasp on the metaphysical nature of reality that helps me out quite a bit.
I studied philosophy too, but I generally just use the books to hold up my monitor. I have a great book on like mid-19th, mid-20th century philosophy. It's a wonderful book by Hegel that has been.
Oh, fuck Hegelian
I actually have it off on
philosophy.
my list here. Yeah, it's just the the Accenture, not Hegel. Sorry, it's Hegel's the one that I don't like. Husserl. I don't know why I said Hegel there. Hegel's.
I actually have
my
not
friend.
heard of him yet. No, Hegel is not a good philosopher at all. Don't trust him.
I don't like Hegel, but Husserl is
Hegel.
definitely good.
Yeah, Hegel was fucked because he used concepts, right, that were embedded into the Prussian legal system and structure of their society to silence other individuals. That's what Hegel did with his knowledge of the world, to silence other individuals. What a dude to look up to and research, right?
Yeah, I was definitely I definitely preferred. I guess I would have to go for Hume on that sort of thing. I'm plugging in the wrong.
Hume is wonderful. I enjoy Hume quite a bit, but I also find that when you get down to it, like Kant tries to explore, there is this dichotomy of concepts that logically exist in both directions, and that causes quite a quandary for us because what we can think, and ultimately the pragmatic view is it's about what you know and you act on that, and in acting you be. It's not like Descartes' cogito, where you think therefore you are. You just know, and therefore you are, by acting, by being in the moment. Oh yeah, I study a whole bunch of shit. I'm quite well read, and I don't know how I can you it. Yeah. I'm sure I'm just an idiot.
Margaret,
Yes, dear.
how did you come to belly dancing?
I liked the music. I have a lot of problems with impulsive behavior. So I heard terrorist music and I said that's gorgeous. I would like to do the thing that goes with that music. And the thing that went with the music was belly dance. And the right connector.
Terrorist music. I love Eastern music. It's beautiful.
So when you dance, do you have like set moves that you've learned and you put into your thing, or you just like ad lib as you go along and do whatever?
I ad lib. I just do improv. Sometimes I come up with choreographies, but then I completely forget what my choreos were, and then I just say, you know what? Well, everything changes. The soul and the essence of belly dance is that it's supposed to be one woman dancing with like a 40-person orchestra in front of a crowd with a singer. So that's.
Who else?
For
You know who else belly dances?
You block out what you're playing. Who else? Don't say me, Rob.
You know who else belly dances that you can team up with? Chris Cam.
Puff.
No, Chris Cam.
But Trigglypuff did have that on our tier, I do believe.
Chris Cam did take a couple belly dancing courses. There's a video of him dancing to Snoop Dogg. It's the most awkward thing. He has this look on his face. He looks like he's in pain or something.
Isn't he?
Yeah. I feel sorry for him.
No, I mean, I used to be I was big into clubbing when I was a bit younger. I'm a bit too old for that now. But, do you know what I mean? That's one of the things. That's one of the things I'm a big fan of yours, Margaret. Because you know what I mean, like your love of dance and whatnot, and it's great to see you carry on doing that since you've been here. Like, you know what I mean? Like especially with your stomach.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking inspirational and shit, man. Fuck yeah, inspiration.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Some of us wear silk and coins.
Luxury
what are you doing
items.
now? What you
I'm trying to plug in the system fan. I plugged it in earlier, but so I'm plugging the built-in system fan into the Mobo to make sure that it has power.
This looks like the point of the advantage of having small hands comes into play.
Oh yeah, I have little girl hands.
I've got fucking massive hands. Yeah,
You can crawl up in the motherboard casing.
Even my mother has massive hands. It's embarrassing for all the places I take on
power to the HDD. I have power to the GPU. I have power to the motherboard. The on button is powered. The issue is plugged into the Mobo. I think, yes.
You guys ever see Triumph of the Will? You ever see that?
Some of it. I know it was a big influence over the last few shots of Star Wars when they do when Chewie gets his medal.
Well, there's certain qualities to that. They're both, you know, groups. But what do you think of the imagery telling some sort of story about the Reich and the people, or the, you know, the Volks, or the what was the other concept? There was 3 concepts that were really attached to the triumph of the will. What do you think about
Girls in
that?
short skirts.
That the concepts, that's not what was there. It was about, you know, they were expressing their culture, and, you know, ultimately, were they wrong? You have to say they were wrong, of course, because, you know, we're just compelled to do so by society. You know, killing millions of people is quite evil. It's unnecessary, which makes it evil. But you think that how they were before their military activity was so awful?
Wait, what are you guys talking about? I wasn't paying attention. I was talking about my GPU here.
About
New
the
topic. Everybody drink. Everybody is drinking, correct?
Oh,
I'm
yes,
drinking.
of course. I have a drink.
I'm half Irish, half English. I can't help it. It's my culture.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to
well,
plug
We're a
8
culture,
pins
not a
into the
concept.
Mobo
you have the
into-
power to choose.
Mate, if someone offered me a Hugo Boss uniform with a skull on the cap, I ain't got no choice. You know, I'm going for it.
I've always liked M. Bison's style.
You don't believe in choice?
I do believe in choice, but I don't believe there's no choice. If someone said, "Do you want a black uniform with a skull on the cap, like the Nazis used to wear?" That ain't a choice, is it, mate? You know what I mean? But, yeah, give me that. Like, pantaloons, baby. That's what I've been like.
A brain
I found the
tickler.
cable that
No,
connects
I think
the Mobo to the 2
someone
graphics
dressed
cards, at
like that
least.
is not.
He's a little brain tickler. If our brains are made of atoms, and atoms always behave based on physics and a bunch of other properties in predetermined ways, do we have free will? Like, if our brains are made out of atoms, and atoms always react according to physics in the exact same way, do we have free will?
Yeah, because you're forgetting the fact that if you look at things in a quantum state, what you believe to be happening stops happening once you start observing it.
Fuck you, Margaret. You ruined my thing. Now I'm sad. Now I feel stupid again.
I studied philosophy too.
I didn't study philosophy.
As
No.
I'm an idiot. I
philosophy learns
studied
you how to be
computer
happy when you
programming.
have very little.
Actually, because you know it makes you smart, so to speak, and that word, its root is of course pain. So you must endure pain in order to enjoy happiness. True.
Korean.
Life would suck.
Yeah, where you're a
if we were just
hedonist.
happy all the time.
Life would suck if what?
This
If
stream is
you're
amazing.
just happy
I agree.
and monotone all the time,
Okay.
you need that.
Okay,
eight
that's
bumps.
when you say happiness, you're talking in a manner in which that's not connected to what it really is, and what Margaret has talked about, which is eudaimonia, I think is the Greek word for it, and it's
Diarrhea,
not,
what?
yes, of course, yeah,
Orion
it's
Elliott Smith.
got it pretty close. It's a very complex concept, and it comes actually from Aristotle, not Plato. Plato's highest concept was the good, which we only see as we pass through, you know, death back into life again, and that was what he believed. Essentially thought the goal to life was to
Did I lose everyone?
Hi.
That's it. So what are you doing now, Margaret?
Oh,
What-
I'm I was taking a look, talking to the chat there for a moment. I'm trying to get the 6 pins that are on the GPU hooked up to an 8 pin on the Mobo. GPU is also hooked up to the power supply, and I think I might be at the point where everything is basically all hooked up.
That anti-static bracelet, it kind of reminds me of like I don't know what the term is, but like you get the what they use to extract or give you blood from your wrist.
Oh, I hate those things.
Yeah, thinking of Mad Max Fury Road.
What's the thing they stick in your hand? The drip. Is it a drip?
Maybe.
I broke my hip in an accident, and I had that, and that didn't even hurt as much as the drip in my hand. It's just
I think everything is all plugged into each other. Somebody says, no, the GPU doesn't connect to the MOBO via wire.
Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they're powered. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're not.
Yep, somebody's asking. I put the cable from the top left of the MOBO goes to the top left of MOBO goes into the power supply unit. Is that where it goes? Not into the GPU. You guys are confusing me. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take a picture of this and tweet it and let everybody complain to me there. It's like the weirdest way to set up a computer, but it's super fun. I'm actually having a ton of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair play to you for giving it a go, man. It's not an easy thing.
I've got to do something. Can't be too lazy. Let's take a picture. Get this light out of here. Damn lights. Okay.
Man,
I can't keep up with this chat. It's too confusing.
What you gotta do, you gotta take off your pants and just rub your crotch all over the motherboard. You gotta get it nice and lubricated.
Okay. Somebody wants to chat. Sure. Send me a DM on the Twitters. GPU power goes to the PSU. Okay, the GPU is already hooked up to the PSU though.
I just found the tutorial that my teacher used in class to write her assignment.
Apparently, you need to connect the vacuum tubes to the Calcutron according to enhanced mouse there.
What about the phalanges?
Flange is it's got to be one of the best words ever. It's just like, who thought that?
It's like on a guitar, like a woman.
Okay, I just sent the DM link to somebody who wrote me on Twitter, and it's like probably in the nicest way. He's like, you seem to be messing this up. So yeah, I'm basically just trying to figure out 8 pins need to go from the GPU to PSU. 8 pins are already going from the GPU to the PSU.
My PC is like 4 years old. I don't know it. I honestly don't know enough to advise you properly. I know the basics, but
okay. So it looks as if the 6 pin and the 8 pin on the GPU has to go to the PSU. Okay, again, I'll remove it from the top left of the MOBO. One minute.
Wow, this is so lively.
You know what?
Our new guy's joined. Come on, computer expert, tell us what we need to know.
Hello.
one of my favorite songs on the Neil Sisser the album, something called Wall Spin, which is it's Wonderwall mixed with Spin Me Right Round.
Oh, two British greats there.
Yeah.
Seriously though, right? Ask me this: yeah, is there a single country in the world as small as Britain that is given as much to music? No.
Sealand.
End of that conversation, really.
There was a music video filmed on Sealand.
Is Sealand the forts?
Yeah, it's the water fort that's just in the middle of the ocean.
It looks amazing. It's a fucking bunch
I
of
have
hippies
to
live there now,
dumb
though.
myself
Make me sick.
down.
Apparently, there's some
Dumb
kind of
myself
server
down.
farm there, or there was, or something.
It's a Sealand was like I think it was like a bunch of it was shit to spy on the commies back in the day in the Cold War.
Probably. Or maybe it was
Okay,
a radio
just so you guys know, I plugged in the 8-pin and the 6-pin from the GPU into the 8-pin and the 6-pin on the PSU.
Okay, but do you know if the 8-pin or 6-pin is actually for the CPU or the GPU? Because they're different.
I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at the manual. The manual is all that I have.
I think it's in the back. When you plug it, it's like a little legend.
Your mic's really crackling. I don't know if that's just me or everyone else.
Yeah. Can't hear you very well.
Well, I'm in my laptop, so yeah. I'm also in a hotel, so.
That's good. We have a robot helping us.
But it makes sense. Robots
It's
were
fun.
the best.
I see Robot 9000.
Like a robot, but.
Oh, fuck.
Dumbness really is the root of fear.
So I'm laughing at Scribble's comment.
Sure.
On the chat there. Fair play.
Kill all humans, bleep boop.
No, not at all. Make them slaves.
Destroy all impures.
Yeah.
Okay. If
You're
I turn
already
this thing on, will it
saying
explode
that.
or will it just not turn on?
It's two possibilities. It's going to burn some of the components,
Yeah.
or
Do we say that at the same time? Do we both say Mike Pence at the same time?
Mike Pence.
Yeah.
I can hear myself, so
You're really crackling up, mate. Honestly, it's hard to tell what you're saying.
Yeah.
fuck.
Mate, last time I came on, my mic didn't work. It was a week's worth of cringe. I was so embarrassed.
Why?
Because I came on and my mic didn't work properly, and I was just like, for fuck's sake, I know far too much about computers to be doing stupid things like that. But luckily, I've got an American friend, and he helped me test this mic out. So, not that it matters, but you know, not that he's American or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, he helped me test it out on. It's my American friend who's sending me my Donald Trump hat, so he's a fucking legend. So, Tyler, if for some miracle you're watching this, I love you, baby. Yeah, I made a new Xbox friend from Nova Scotia, and he was like, "Oh, I'm from Nova Scotia." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're from Halifax or Dartmouth?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." I thought I was really clever because I knew them too. It was only because I've been watching Marge's streams. Why is everywhere in Nova Scotia named after places from England? What's that about?
I
New
don't know.
Scotland,
They just
shit.
showed up here and they were really sad, I guess.
Same with
Like Dartmouth is just hilarious.
same with
name,
like
probably.
Northern America or Northeastern America. Everything.
What-
there's even a
my town I come from, there's 5 of them in America. There's one in Australia. There's probably, I don't know if there's any in Canada. I don't want to say the name, but
It's because settlers were very uncreative.
But you would, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? If you went somewhere else and you went all that way, you'd just be like, yeah, I'm going to name this after where it came from. That'd be cool.
I didn't even realize there was like a Boston in England.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's still a Boston in America, isn't there?
Yeah, Boston's a pretty
Selling
big city.
50 cal sniper rifles to kill our troops. We don't forget Boston. I'm a bit confused about that, actually, to be honest, because my mum's Irish and my dad's English, so I don't know where I stand when it comes to the IRA. It's a bit of a weird one for me.
You really let all of that stuff dictate who you are?
Yeah, well, it's part of the culture I grew up in, isn't it? So it's obviously not massively part to do with what I am. If I was a Muslim, I wouldn't drink, would I? But like, because I'm Irish and I'm English, that's part of our culture. So yeah, therefore I drink.
Yeah, you pretty much have to drink.
Yeah, and not be funny, but honestly, I don't trust anybody who doesn't drink. It's as simple as that. Like when you get drunk and there's a sober person there, they're watching you make a fool of yourself while not being drunk. It's a weird, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't trust Muslims. I just mean I don't trust people who don't drink. So yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna tweet out an image I just took. I think that everything's hooked up. Everything seemed to be hooked up to the PSU, and the graphics card is hooked up twice to the power supply.
What kind of drinking is necessary for you then, for someone else to do?
Well, I just mean like when you're at a party and you're all drinking, and one person isn't, they get to observe the room in a different frame of mind to everybody else, and also everyone else is likely to forget the stupid shit you did, but the person that's sober isn't, and therefore they have ammo against you to throw at you at a later date, whereas everyone else will just have a good time and forgot about it. I know people who don't drink, and I don't trust them. Simple as that. It's just, no.
My question, I think, would then be like, do you have this concept that like everyone that's drinking like has the same mindset as you do? Like culturally, like that mindset is a part of everyone who must drink in your culture.
But it's honestly, it's so rare for someone not to drink in England. You know what I mean? It's such a rarity. It is a weird thing.
I'm not questioning the cultural practice. I'm trying to understand why it seems so collectivist.
I don't know. I just think like it's just one of those things, isn't it? So you're in it together or you're not, and if you're not,
no,
you're not.
As an American, I make the choice not to be.
Chat says, guys, I'm really convinced that the discussion about free will help her understand the wiring of this particular model of motherhood.
Who have you read on like free will? Like,
it's like that Rush song. I will use free will.
I'm more about free hat.
Free hat McCulloch. Yeah, so funny. Yeah, can I call you back in like 15 minutes?
Free will. I guess you kind of, do you know you have free will?
You took Philosophy 100.
No, I know. Listen, anyone can ask these questions. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Like life is way too fucking short to always be afraid to want to explore something new because you'll make a mistake or you'll piss someone off. Fuck that.
Well, the thing with free will is that you need to imply there is a destiny to not be. And if it doesn't exist at all, well, fuck, it's your problem.
Oh, mate,
kind of up to choice,
I don't know if you're rude, mate, but like between your accent and your crackly microphone, I ain't getting nothing you're saying. I'm sorry, I'm sure you're a great person and that, but It's just impossible to tell what you're saying.
I think everybody else here has the Hangout link if you want to add more cancer to the chat.
Please.
Fuck yeah.
So what are you doing now, Margaret? On your
I
computer?
hate.
I'm talking to somebody on internets. We're talking about the Mobo pins. Mobo, we're 8 pins, breaking it to 4 pins. I have too much choice here.
Look at that. Is that a GeForce or what is that video card? Is that even in yet? Thank you.
Sorry, just ignoring everybody for a minute. So you're gonna have to invent your own cancer while I'm ignoring you.
No worries. What do you guys what do you think of numbers?
What?
No, seriously.
You're gonna have to explain this one.
I'm a big fan
like,
of the number 0. Thanks to the Indians for inventing that. Cheers, Indians.
Oh, yeah.
That's your really claim to fame. And we thank you, people. And say thanks to Kenny Jones for sending Margaret bits. Good lad, Kenny.
I gave him the link to this hangout, but he's busy tonight, sadly. What do you guys think about numbers? What do you think about letters and the alphabet?
They're all right.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, without them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of things.
Who saw John Wick
wonder
2? Is that the Margaret saw that? I know that.
Yeah.
Was John Wick any good? Margaret?
It was great. You could hear all the guys were like, fuck yeah, whenever they were talking about guns, and all the women were like, ee, whenever gross stuff was happening. So it was fantastic.
I saw Keanu Reeves play with his band Dogstar years ago, and people threw shit at him, and I'm not even joking. He dodged it like the Matrix. It was fucking amazing. He did the lean back thing. It was the year the Matrix come out, and he did the lean back thing, and it missed him. And then someone's threw a tennis ball, and it went bonk off his bass guitar. Right, it's fucking amazing.
Keanu Reeves is fucking great. Like, people can say he's like a shit actor or whatever, or like boring, but he's legitimately like talented. Like, I saw a little short video about where he was just at a gun range. He was just shooting the shit out of all these targets and rolling around and doing all this crazy shit.
No, but apparently he's a great human being as well. You know, like he gave all his money away didn't he give all his wages away to the people on the Matrix 2 or something?
He gave it to his sister who had
He gave money away to people stuck in the Matrix. That's very sweet of him.
No, he gave
really appreciate that.
He gave a bunch of his money to his sister, or to help treat his sister who was dying of cancer or something. I don't know if she's still alive, but even if she isn't, it's an amazing gesture.
Has anybody seen that film Arrival, the one with Amy Adams in it? Like when they talk to the
I saw it. I almost walked out of that
of
movie.
Tricks.
Trying to get the CPU stuff.
Do you think that you're possibly still hooked into the Matrix?
No.
Or
If
that
I am,
whatever essence was
If I was hooked into the Matrix, this would be a lot easier.
not necessarily, because we learned that suffering was a part of the best type of world that could be created.
I don't know. Has anybody watched The Matrix lately? I really don't think it holds up at all. Like, I don't know.
The two directors are women now, aren't they?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about? What are the chances of two twins men becoming trannies? It's just like
Insane.
It's a tolerant left.
I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, like, someone was saying that they reckon that the left jumped the shark when they all forced us to like transsexuals. Like I remember when gays was unacceptable. I remember teachers at school telling us that all gays should be shot at birth and stuff. And then it was a slow movement towards acceptance, though. And like and I'm fine with that. It's none of my business where you fucking stick your cock, as long as it's not in kids and animals.
Fucking Canadian, right?
But if you're gonna be a man in a dress, that's a different matter at all, totally. Because some of them don't make any effort, do they? Let's be real. Like there's Blair White, who is indistinguishable, and then there's that bloke who reckons he's a 7-year-old girl. You know what I mean?
That is a 7-year-old girl.
It's like, I'm sorry, but like I can't accept that. Like there used to be a tranny when I was at college, and it was basically a man in a dress with like a bald head and earrings. And he used to stand outside this, like, dressed as a schoolgirl outside the school, the local school and stuff. It's like, not doing a lot of, you know what I mean? He wasn't really helping transsexual rights and stuff by being an absolute fucking pedo freak. But I don't know. I just think they forced it down our throats too quickly. It should have been a slow road to acceptance, and not just like, bam, you better like trannies or else.
Yeah, don't force anything down anyone's throat. It's not going to turn out good.
Wow, isn't that ironic?
I'm fine with people like being transgender or whatever, but people like are acting that just because transgender people exist, it invalidates the fact that there's two genders, and gender and sex have correlation. I'm not saying like, oh, you're a freak and you're a weirdo. No, I'm saying like transgender people are like an outlier. That makes sense. Like just because 1% of or less than 1% of people are like this, like if people are saying like, oh, there's intersex people who have like penises and ovaries, but that's like a mutation. Like some people are born without like Alan Thicke on Twitter, that dude with only one hand. Like, just that doesn't mean that people like are necessarily, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little tired, so I'm rambling a little bit, and I'm also trying to focus.
No, I'm really confused. Like for starters, I don't think they should be like walked out on the red carpet as like some kind of freak show. For starters, I think they need to be respected as human beings. Second of all, I don't think we have the ethical fucking right to tell them how they should be in any way in any society, or to tell them that they somehow are not acceptable. They're not harming another human being.
They're harming themselves. It's easy to argue.
Yeah, harming themselves. What's wrong with harming yourself sometimes?
Because you're not supposed to do it. Nothing in human psychology says it's okay to hurt yourself. Whenever you're making any sort of destructive decision, it's a problem. I'm having a lot of trouble getting this CPU.
Some people do that when they have tattoos and stuff. That's all that's about, isn't it? It's like they like the pain, and you know what I mean. Like it's like a weird. I'm gonna self-harming in a weird way.
It's a large concept, much larger concept than assumed.
CPU just doesn't want to plug. Okay, so I'm plugging in the CPU supply from the Bobo to the PSU down here, but I'm having trouble getting it in. It's just a lot of wires around here.
I think learning to not give a shit is really important.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that we lost, is that people are focusing too much on like caring and acceptance and not on like apathy. Like,
yeah,
I think
not
apathy or apathy.
I said apathy.
Yeah.
I might have said apathy, but I meant.
No, I think human compassion is one of those things that we need to still keep focused on, and three aspects of human compassion that are most necessary. Learning to have any relationship with any human being whatsoever is always yes. It's laugh at the kid who studied the human condition. It's trust, love, and forgiveness.
It's It's just from the chat. It says homosexuality is observed in many species. I wonder how many transgender animals there are, like a gorilla in high heels or something.
Yeah.
Yes, the cortical brain is rather interesting, isn't it?
Like little monkeys, and they somehow get scalpels. It's like a little monkey clinic with monkey abortions and monkey tricks.
Cut the dick off a monkey, I guess.
Yeah,
So-
there's a little monkey debate
He did
on
be after you.
National Monkey TV where they're debating the ethics of abortion and whether or not it's a monkey life.
It's all about ethics in monkey abortion.
It's all about ethics and monkey game journalism.
Okay. So now the CPU thing in the top left-hand corner is now plugged into the PSU. All right, all right.
Sweet.
Okay, I wonder if I'm allowed to. I wonder if I'm allowed to turn this thing on now. What do you guys think?
Do it. Do it. Speaking of do it,
Your
who's
hand
been
in
watching
pocket.
He Will Not Divide Us? Obviously, it's over now, but
He will not divide us. He will
That
not divide
lasted
us.
like
He will not
exactly
divide
2 or 3 weeks
not
or
divide
something. I don't know.
I've got to love the guy that I don't know who he was. He was holding at the side going Pepe, and he was like Shia LaBeouf is a white liberal or whatever.
He
That
doesn't
guy.
care about you.
I'd love to shake that man's hand and buy him a pint. What a legend!
I live on a train route. Like I'm at college, but my mom lives at on a train route. So I was thinking of like if I got on break, I would have tricked everyone to go into New York and just go into that. Shia really needs to get his shit together and just start another one of those. I wish that they would reopen it just for shit posting, because that's what it became. It's like that's the problem with liberals. You can't win a fight against a shit poster if you're actually involved. Like if you're actually passionate, because they don't give a shit. They're not like attached to it, so that means they're able to like they're just in it for the fun. So as long as like they can push your buttons, you can't really do shit. You can't shame them or like debate them because they're just doing it for comedy's sake.
They're rather like not zombies, aren't they? Like they haven't. It's like they haven't figured out the connection of mind and body together. Really, that they still think like there's this separation, and like we can live in this world of like pure ideals, and we can do all these good things when they fail to see just how evil humans can be and good at the same time. But you can't trust them to be either supremely good or supremely evil.
I'm worried about liberals just not being able to discern fantasy from reality.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they haven't connected the mind to the body.
Okay, so right now I have the power supply turned off. I'm plugging it in for the first time.
Oh shit! I gotta see this.
So I was told that what I should do is turn off the power supply and then just try booting it once just to get rid of any excess
Yeah.
electricity that might be kicking around in
This would be
here.
very cool. I love watching these things work.
Okay, so I don't think there was any power into
And
it.
explode, and then
No?
like we'll
Okay.
start screaming.
Okay, power supply is on. And time to hit the button.
Yeah, do it. Someone Mark's spazzed out there.
Do the thing. Fans are all working.
Yay!
And I just did a bit of my homework, and it's actually fucking working. Wait, is it? No, never mind.
Have you got a
Yeah,
monitor
it's
to
all
plug it into? See if it's a.
Okay, so now I'm gonna
fuck.
turn this is oh my god guys, it's actually working. I'm gonna
Yeah,
turn this
it's
off.
You did it. You did.
This
you
is
beat
exciting.
me on the woo. You should be in
Okay,
Congress.
so I turned it off and I'm gonna turn it back on again to make sure the power is out of the Mobo. So it'll try to boot with anything left in it. And there's nothing left in the Mobo. We did it, guys.
You did it.
We made a computer work.
You just shit talked. You did it.
And on the first try, too. All the fans turn on the first try. That's the most important part. Aw. So now I guess next up I have to start hooking it up to the monitor, get things going. But we successfully did it. We got a computer to work. Time to install Cancer. That's correct.
It's all
What are you gonna
EXE or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny. I spent the last few minutes talking to my buddy Rob there, and he's like, "Mate, these are the pins you have to put in. They're gonna look like this." So you guys are busy talking about how numbers make you feel, and I'm just making sure everything's hooked in right.
numbers
Okay.
I'm really into are ones.
So I'm gonna unplug this.
What if humans were born with 11 fingers instead of 10? Or fuck with their base?
Hey, this
That
is
doesn't make
for a minute.
sense because symmetry is a natural concept, and so
Alright,
life follows
let's say that
natural
humans were born
concepts.
with like 12 fingers. What would you name the extra two numbers? Because I don't think 11 and 12 would still be it. I'd call it like Learn and Carl.
Well, I mean,
Carl
it would be
12.
whatever thing with language is it's symbolic. It's has a quality to it that there's a mathematical quality to language.
It would fucking suck if you woke up one day and just the reality changed to where everybody has like 12 fingers, so you have to learn a new mathematical system. It's like the Berenstein thing.
Math is worthless with computers. So is learning a new language, by the way. Worthless.
No, it's got some worth to it.
No, we're gonna be getting like optical units at some point that is just gonna translate it all for us.
No, I'm talking about for your own brain.
Yeah.
Also, that
no,
you
there's
end up-
other
it's really
things you
easy to
can
get
work
stuck with,
out
like,
in
pi
your
and
brain.
pi,
I mean,
so-
for me, like for you, maybe I think you can get something out of like learning different languages. Like each human being has different like, or that express their virtues. Like for me, it would be more along the lines of continuing to work within my own language and learning the nuances of that. But like it's either or here. That's like the whole thing about it. You get to do, you make your decisions. You make your choices.
I'm pretty sure you've accidentally quoted like at least a few songs by Death and by Elliott Smith all evening. It's kind of funny. Turning into a drinking game.
I've actually,
Smith.
I'll be an ignorant bumpkin here. I've never actually heard of those, really, but I love art, so I'm open to all different aspects of it.
Well, Chuck Schuldiner is he's the philosopher. He made fun of philosophy quite a bit actually in his songs.
Yeah, well, it's
Elliott
fine
Smith
to
is
make
just an
fun of
emo
it.
guy.
Like that's part of the beauty of philosophy is to challenge. Fun of something is blatantly challenging these ideas, whether it's actually true or not. There's something magical about it.
Okay, PSU is.
So what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now, Margaret? What have you got-
I'm turning this on to see if anything happens on the monitor.
And then you've got to install Windows or whatnot. Or... How do you even go about doing that nowadays? Like, do you have just going to boot from a floppy disk? Fucking hell, that's not what I meant.
Robbie Dick.
USB.
A USB is what I meant.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, my
You
friend's
can,
got my fucking memory stick. I need to get that back of him.
I don't even know what's supposed to be coming up on here other than like a readout on the BIOS.
It should just be. It just should run through the BIOS, shouldn't it? And then like make the right. Hopefully, you'll make the correct beeps and whatnot. And then
Nothing has like CD drives anymore. It's crazy. Yeah. I got a laptop recently, and it came with an external USB one.
Nice. Look at that, guys.
Yeah.
Look, we had a big old MSI thing come up. Reboot
Yeah,
and
boot
select
device.
device. Holy fuck, guys, we did it. First try.
You're a hero.
You might need to go into the BIOS though and make sure it boots from the USB stick before.
Yeah, like I don't even have the peripherals set up, but this is absolutely fantastic. Aw.
Break out the
Turn this fella
marijuana.
down again. It hurts me on like a visceral level to use the power button to power off a computer, but I have to do it. I can't press the key because I didn't plug in the keyboard yet. Come on, turn off, friend. I'm so glad that the fans are working.
Now we can play co-op on a bunch of games.
Fuck yeah. Secret of Monkey Island.
Secret of Monkey Island co-op. Coming soon.
Okay, I'm turning the power supply off again, trying to turn it on, get rid of the extras.
And then I can send you that game that I'm working on.
Is it better than Monkey Island? Did
Probably
you get a
not.
clickety-clack keyboard? Yes, I have a clickety-clack. It's off to the side. Just a second. Yes, I have a wonderful clickety-clack. It's like 1 in the morning, and I'm just like, now I'm gonna be up all night computering.
Up all night using your
I
new
have so many
PC.
boxes everywhere.
You're gonna use it on all the important games like Gone Home and Revolution 60.
Gone Home.
I fucking played Gone Home. Like, admittedly, I pirated it and stuff. And I said to my mate, "Come round and play this game." Half an hour later, he came round. I'd completed it.
Cherry keys on that.
My sister was a lesbian. Woohoo! What a fucking game. Fuck off. 10 out of 10.
My sister was a lesbian. Sounds like one of those like 50s or 60s propaganda films.
But that's all it
Like
was.
Reaper Vet.
It was
Sounds
like you thought it was some horror film, like, or a game. Like they sort of hinted it was going to be like Resident Evil. You're like, "Ooh, scary murderers!" Oh, my sister's a lesbian, and she ran away.
The only
That's
thing
Gone
she was
Home for you.
murdering was pussy.
£20 £20 they charge for an hour.
Again.
Fucking £20 for an hour. Like the cinema's like 10 quid for 2 hours. You know what I mean? That's expensive enough, but 20 fucking idiots.
And like, I'm not even opposed to like that kind of walking simulator stuff. Like, I like the Stanley Parable quite a bit.
I like The Walking Dead. I mean, that's not much more than a walking simulator, is it? It's a
there's quick time events. You have to actually make choices that affect the narrative.
I made a choice. The teenager, he left Clementine alone, and I knew as soon as I could let him die, he was going to die. And then I laughed manically when a zombie pulled him to his death. Fucking leave Clementine alone. Who do you think you are?
Leave Clementine alone.
You're really quiet, Marg.
Yeah, well,
She's just overflowing with joy and happiness. Look at that look on her face. She's so happy.
But yeah, now that we know everything is in the correct slots, I'm going to work as many cables.
Can't hear you.
You're really quiet, darling.
Sorry.
I think your mic got unplugged or something.
Yeah, or your volume's gone down. I don't know.
No, I sat on my mic. I've done this before. Yeah, and because like I have the cable stuff here. But
If you hadn't eaten so much oatmeal, that wouldn't have happened, would it?
I know, it's my problem. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly plug and unplug things and route them through the back. So once I finally put the windows on the front, the window on the front, and the boring old back in the back, then it'll just look fantastic. But I should probably log off so I can have another glass of wine and start with the cable management.
Wine is amazing.
But yeah, it totally worked to build this on the bed with the Mobo with the wire strap on my wrist.
You can
Mobo
finally play Overwatch again.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I haven't played Overwatch in months. Need to reinstall that.
I just realized that I can run a simulator of my own desktop on my desktop.
What's the game with the spooky skeletons that you used to play on Twitch? Oh, what's it called?
Which game? Spooky skeleton. Oh yeah. It's one of those old.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, it came out before Wolfenstein. It was made on the same. I don't think quite the same engine. I think the original Wolfenstein was its own.
And you wore your house coat, as I'm doing inverted commas in the sky here, while you were wearing it.
Yeah, that is old school. Oh yeah, because he was wearing something blue and I was wearing a blue house coat, and I'm like, hey, wait a second. So I played half the game with my house coat over my head. Catacombs 3D.
Catacombs 3D, that's what.
Yeah, I'll be able to start posting more gaming vids. I'm probably just gonna like kill it on Twitch for the next few days.
My application that I tried can't be run from a remote desktop. See if I can run some.
Does it play any RTS games?
I used to. Ooh,
Hmm.
Hotline Miami. That's true. I have Hotline Miami on my Steam.
Hotline Miami's pretty good.
I'm a fan of Dawn of War.
But the first one,
Dawn of War?
did you say Dawn of War? As in like the Warhammer thing?
Yeah. 40K. Yeah, it's one of
What
my
do you-
favorite games. The mod Ultimate Apocalypse is pretty fucking killer. Yeah.
Have you ever played Company of Heroes? Because that's what I'm saying, people.
Yeah, all the
'Cause
time.
that's a great game. Because you like them sort of games, don't you,
Yeah.
Margaret? You like Age of Empires and stuff.
Oh yeah, Age of Kings might be one of the best
So
games
Have you
ever.
ever played
Kings.
Total War, Call of Company of Heroes? They're the two best real-time strategy games of all time. In my
I
opinion.
hope they make a 40K Total War. I really hope they make a 40K Total War. That would be so fucking amazing if they pulled it off.
I don't know, because like Total War doesn't. When they made Empire Total War, it didn't work when they had guns in it. You know, it was entirely guns. But I know what you're saying.
Go ahead.
There's not enough good 40k games. I mean, I never really play the tabletop game, but I love the universe, and I don't think they exploit it enough. Well, they have been recently, haven't they? But with all shit games.
No, that's why I think they could do like a 40K Total War, like set in the Horus Heresy, right? So they could set it in that, and they're fighting like they could individually and model their actions in such a way that you can get like a Marine squad of like probably, I would say, you know, for something really cool, like 100 guys, and they'd all have individual action while being a part of a single group as well. Like that would be fucking amazing.
I think they should make a 40k Battlefield mod or skin.
Ooh. I don't know. So much fun to just like throw units at each other, though. It's so much fun to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to be a jerk and cut everyone off because I need to do some cable management before I can go to bed and then get up super excited early tomorrow.
CMRE.
Well, take it easy, Margaret. It's been a pleasure, Muffin.
I know. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank
for
you
having me.
guys.
Thanks
Thank you so
everybody for
much.
entertaining me while I like fucked with cables and got everything wrong. And thanks everybody who was messaging me, being like, "Okay, honey, like this is how it goes."
Okay, you idiot. Here's how smart people do it.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it was lovely. I hope everybody had a nice Valentine's Day talking about GPUs and how little I know about coolers. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Take it
Good night.
easy,